Peace of Christ. What's going on, everybody? What's up? What's up? What's up? Go ahead immediately. If you're here already, please go ahead and leave a like on the video. Let me know that you guys are here. Say hi. Okay, I'm seeing the comments come in now. Hey, Chris. Pro-life, Chloe, and the Christian metalhead. Man, I missed you guys, man. I feel like it's been, 20 minutes. What's going on, Brian? Jock. Nice. It's good to see you guys watching live from London, UK. Look at Walter, you're early? I had nothing else to do. So yeah, I am early. Yeah, we're out here handling business, guys. We're handling business. Today is a cool stream, Today I'm allowing more than just Muslims to come on the stage, but I'm also inviting any type of Christian heretic, like Jehovah's Witnesses, Mormons, any oneness folk out there that love to argue against the Trinity or things of this nature. You're all welcome to come on today. I'm trying to show that I do not discriminate. So if you are of any faith, any religion, you are welcome on the stage and we can have a conversation. It's not just geared towards Muslims today. Let's see, here we got, looking forward to my Friday evening whiskey and GLA live stream. That's right. The Friday evening and GLA live stream, man. That's a vibe. Anouk, my friend, I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm blessed. It's good to see you in the streams, man. It's good to see you in the streams, my friend. Yes, sir. Here, Chris said, all heretics can come get this smoke. Chris said it. If you are a heretic of any background, you're welcome. Come on stage. We got about 28 people in here right now. Go ahead, everybody, leave a like on the video. Make sure the view and like proportion is leveled. I want to see it leveled, kind of get it, it's crazy to me. Sometimes we'll have like 200 people in with only 100 likes. So let's go ahead and make sure that we're all working together to make sure the videos get out there, Anouk said, alrighty, perhaps one day I will become a Christian, but for now I am a theist. Yeah, that is our prayer. That's our prayer for you, Anouk, is for you to be convinced of the gospel. We're glad that you left that cult, Islam, and you know that God exists, you know that God is real, and you do know that there is a judgment day, and you want to make sure that you're on the right end of it. And so hopefully, your heart is open to Christ, because he says that he's the only way, he's the only truth, the only life. No one comes to the Father except through him, and he guarantees that if you believe in him and trust in him, repent of your sins, then you will be on the right side on Judgment Day. It's up to you. But yeah, we will keep coming to the streams, my friend. Keep coming to the streams. Keep on listening and learning. I'm glad you're so open. God bless your soul, man, because you're an open person. And there's not a lot of people like that out there. Not a lot. Yes, sir. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of my friends here who are just on Clubhouse with me, who are on the Clubhouse stream, man. I really love you guys. You guys really rock with your boy. Y'all really rock with your boy, man. God bless everyone that's in here right now. God bless everyone in here. We have False Doctrines Exposed. I love that name. I absolutely love your name. May God bless you abundantly, God Logic. May God bless you and for your encouragement and your boldness. I love it. I absolutely love it. We have a believing friend, Muslim apologist. Have you heard of Sabil Ahmed? Would you debate him? I have not heard of Sabil, but I would love to have a conversation with any Muslim. I would talk to any Muslim. Um, as long as they're, respectful and not trollish, I would love to talk to any Muslim who's willing to have a discussion, either here on my stream or I will go on their stream. I don't care. Chris will tell you, and life will tell you, we go in the trenches. We go in Muslim rooms where there's Muslim moderators, Muslim panels. We go in there and we bring the smoke until we get kicked out. So that's what we do, man. So yeah, I'll definitely I'll check Sabil out, and yeah, I'm down to talk with anybody. Down to talk with anybody. Someone said that Sabil doesn't debate. If he doesn't debate, but is he open for discussion, just honest, open dialogue? Because if he is, that's cool. We don't have to be we got to be all formal and whatnot, but we can have a discussion. We can have a discussion. But yeah, guys, has everyone here seen my my video, my latest video when I was calling out the 3 Muslims? Has everyone here seen that one? Oh, someone said he does debate. Okay. Well, I don't know. You guys would know. I wouldn't. So yes, Christian Metalhead, he saw it. Yeah, so yeah, pretty much everyone here saw it. Yeah. What up, Snow? Yeah. I haven't gotten a response yet, guys. I'm not surprised at all. Haven't gotten a response yet. What's up, Andrew? Watching on Facebook. Welcome. It's expected. I don't expect to get a response at all. But I was told by 100, who's one of the subscribers on this channel, that they've been deleting the comments, you guys' comments on their videos mentioning God Logic and mentioning the video, sharing the link. So that's hilarious to me. Why are they deleting you guys' comments about having a discussion with little old me? I ain't nobody with my little 9,000 subs. I ain't nobody. I ain't like them. You know what I'm saying? I'm no David Wood. I'm just a young chocolate brother with a gift of gab. That's it. Roray, that wasn't Young Don. That was a guy that they're calling Young Dom. I don't know if that's really what he goes by, or unless they're doing that on purpose. But no, that's not Young Don. That's Young Dom. Different guy. Different guy. Let's see here. We got Andrew. What you say, Andrew? One day you'll be just as great as them, brother. I appreciate it. I'm good though. I'm good where I'm at. God is taking me where He wants to take me, and I'm extremely happy. Hold on, what is this? I just got a StreamYard support thing. Error. Stream is about to what? To fix add this user online. Yeah, right. Man, it looks like we got some trolls trying to get in already. Got some trolls trying to get in, trying to frame themselves to be StreamYard support. Stop it. But it's good to see everyone here. It's good to see everyone here. Someone asked, can atheists join? Shah. Is this a Shah from Clubhouse that I know? Can atheists join? Man, Chris likes to talk to atheists more. Shah, I don't. I fell out of love with having discussions with atheists a while ago. But I don't know. Maybe give me a few minutes to think about it. I don't know. Personally, I like to deal more with people who already have a foundation of belief. Let's see here. He said, no, I'm another Shah. Oh, okay. I actually like the other Shah. Yeah, guys, if you are a non-believer in the Christian faith, as far as a Muslim, a Hebrew Israelite, quote unquote, or a oneness heretic, Mormon, you're more than welcome to come up. When it comes to atheists, I'm not so open, unfortunately. I'm not so open. You guys have tired me out, man. You guys have tired me out. But I'm just curious, guys. What do you think? Why is it that that they're deleting your guys' comments? The three Muslims. Why are they deleting your comments on their stream? What's going on? Good morning, Moss from Australia. Good morning. Why are they deleting your comments on the stream? They're supposed to, there's three of them, right? There's three of them. They have their own channel. They're doing the good work of giving dawah. You know what I mean? They've, apparently converted another young guy. Fully convinced. What's the matter? What's the matter with me? Why won't they talk to me? I think I'm a pretty cool guy. I'm pretty easygoing. I just want to know. Believing, why can't they just log in and call? It's a good question. It's a good question. I just don't like bullies, man. I was serious when I said that. I cannot stand bullies. There was one time in school, it was in middle school, there was some the popular kids were messing with a kid who had a speech impediment. He had a really bad speech impediment, and he was a little mentally disabled. Not up to speed like the rest of us. And they took his backpack and they were throwing it around, throwing it to each other, and he's like screaming, "Give me my backpack!" But he can't really talk. They're like, "What?" And so what I did was I snatched the backpack from the kid who started it, and from the leader of the group. I snatched the backpack from him, and I gave the kid, his name is Joey, I'll never forget him, back his backpack. I never liked bullies, man. That's why I had to go and do what I did to Uthman, because he likes to bully, unsuspecting Christians. He, likes to trap them and manipulate. I don't like that. I don't like that, man. I do not like when people try to take advantage of those who are not as equipped as them. You know what I mean? So that's the only reason why this situation with young Don caught my attention. Like, Uthman, what are you doing on that stream trying to challenge a new Christian when he just told you I'm a new Christian? What are you doing on there? It's pathetic. The three Muslims, what are y'all doing making 10 videos in a row attacking this guy, attacking his knowledge and his beliefs and all this kind of stuff? What are y'all doing? Attack some. It don't even got to be me. To go talk to apostate prophet. Talk to somebody. Go talk to somebody who's been doing this. That's why I offer myself. I'm here. I'm here. You know. And the same thing that happened to Uthman will happen to you guys if y'all have that manipulative attitude. Just straight up. So it is what it is. We got Jock. He said, "What is the topic of discussion? Uthman is very manipulative, and I look forward to see him someday." Yeah, one day he might return. But you know, that's old news already. You know, that's old news. What up, Chris?
Oh, you brought me up real quick. Hey, what up, man? How you doing?
Oh, is it mine?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. We're good now.
Mm-hmm.
How you doing, brother? God bless.
I'm good, man. I'm good. Thought you was a little busy.
No, I'm all right now. I got to go get my son at about an hour. So at that point, I may duck out and duck back in when I come back. But other than that, I see that we're talking about Uthman right now. Has anybody seemed to find him?
Yeah, they're still looking for him. But really, we're really talking about the three Muslims, and how they've been deleting people's comments that have been mentioning me on their videos and stuff like that.
Well, you're a
I
scary
think
guy.
that's interesting.
Yeah, but you're a scary guy, God Logic. You know that.
But I think it's different. It's different if you just ignore. If you just ignore somebody, that's But to actively delete the comments that brings somebody up, like, hey, you guys should check this guy out. Hey, he's challenging you guys. You guys should challenge somebody who's knowledgeable or whatever. And they're deleting those comments. That's a different story, bro.
Yeah, but
That's different.
You're dangerous. You're scary. They have to delete those comments. They don't want. See what happens here, and I'm going to have to explain because it's going to make sense. And I think everybody in the audience here is going to agree with me. What you did to Uthman scared a lot of the Ummah out there, so that the platform that you go on is in jeopardy of losing their platform. If we've noticed, Sheikh Uthman, his platform was San Diego. He was calling everybody to San Diego. I'm here in Balboa Park. Come here, come at me. He ain't there no more. His platform's gone. He's got to look for a new platform to put his little tent down on because of you. Now, the three Muslims, that's their man. That's their heavyweight champion of the world is Uthman.
Yeah.
But the problem here is that when we look at it, you're the Kamaru Usman of this stuff, and he's the Colby Covington of this stuff. You're just not quite matched. It doesn't matter how many times he's going to come after you, you're still just going to mop the floor with him. And I think the three Muslims realize that. That's why they don't want to have you on their platform, because if they have you on their platform and you refute them, they're going to lose their platform and have to go somewhere else. So you're a scary guy. I think that's why it is.
Stuck fully law, man. I try to be as easygoing as I can, Chris. Like I'm literally telling them, and you guys, when the live finishes, you guys can clip this or screen record this and post this right here, right now. The three Muslims, I'm talking to y'all. I will hop in your stream where you guys moderate, where y'all can mute me. You have control over the conversation in the stream. Whatever topic y'all want, we can talk about it. I'm willing to go over these discussions with you, with all three of you, every last one of you. Science in the Quran, the truth of Islam, what the Bible is, the Trinity, Tawheed, whatever you want. We could talk about it. Just stop picking on young baby Christians. Stop picking on young ones in the faith. That's the only thing I'm saying.
And it's not even picking on them. It's literally bullying them.
Yeah.
And now young Don, he can handle himself. But the problem is that he's a new Christian, and these three Muslims, they have a pretty good reach. They have a decent sized channel. They have quite a few subscribers. So what's happening is their Muslim arguments going over to harass young Don and his audience. And that's what the bullying is. And they're doing it over 10, what was it, like 10 videos they've done on young Don so far? He was on their show like what, one time, maybe twice?
Yeah.
Like it's just disgusting on what they do. But yeah, I definitely agree. But can I say something to one of the little spammer trolls in the chat there, Mr. Godlogic?
Of course, Chris.
Mr. Zoldy99 says that big boy, me or you should go on Hamza's Den, the arena, stream on the 9th, and don't make it a shouting match. Now I've
He
told
said that to us to not make it a shouting match.
that's what I'm pretty sure he just said. But the problem here is that Hamza doesn't actually want Christians that are knowledgeable on his show, and if he did, he would reach out to certain people. When was the last time, Godlogic, that you saw Hamza on a Christian YouTube channel?
Actually, never.
When was the last time you seen Ali Dawa on a Christian YouTube channel?
Never.
When was the last time you seen most of the top Islamic apologists on a Christian YouTube channel?
Years ago when I seen Shabir Ali debate, like David Wood and stuff like that.
Exactly. So nowadays, Muslims want us Christians to run on over to the Muslim platforms to be able to talk to them, but those same Muslims cannot return the favor. Now, what happens is Godlogic has no problem having a discussion with Hamza, and he has no problem having the discussion on whatever platform we want to set it up to. But I think, in all fairness, if Hamza wants to have a discussion with Godlogic, maybe he should contact him via email, possibly contact him, set up maybe 2 debates, one on his platform and one on Godlogic's platform. I think that would be a fair way to do it. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Godlogic?
I would love that. I would love that. Yeah, it's got to go both ways, man. Like what Chris said, we are more than willing to hop on their channel and have a discussion, no problem. But they got to also be willing to come on ours as well, you know. And so I think that's only fair. I think that it's only fair.
Actually, I do want to take this back. There is one Muslim that I have seen on a Christian YouTube channel, and he was actually on here, and that's Khalilullah from EA Dawa. He's probably the only other Muslim I've seen go on Christian YouTube channels. So just to say that no Christian does it, or sorry, no Muslim does it, I was wrong on that. He has done it. But the top Islamic
apologists, that's what I was thinking that you were talking about anyway.
Yeah,
like
true. He's not really
the popular guys.
Yeah.
No shots at Khalil, but just saying, like, you know, the well-known guys. Jaden here says, he says, I had barely any knowledge on Islam until that Young Don stream. Watched a ton of YouTube videos after that stream, including your channel. Islam is a wild religion, man. See, they don't know that this stuff backfires on them. They don't, because you'll have people like Jaden who will actually go research what they're saying and what Islam is about and start, you know, just will lock in on Islam and the truth of it. And his conclusion is Islam is wild, man. It's a wild religion. You're absolutely right, my man. Absolutely right. Someone is asking, what is the next video you're planning on posting? If I can get my memory card to work, y'all, I want to post the conversation that I had with a Muslima. It was a beautiful, beautiful conversation. And I have to figure out what's going on with my memory card. As soon as I tried to download the video, it stopped working, and now my memory card's not reading at all. So I got to see what's going on. But that conversation is on Bible or Quran, and so you guys can go over there on that channel and check it out. The audio is you can't really hear everything that she's saying. You got to really like listen in. But you know, that if all else fails, that's what we got. That's the one we got. So thank Anthony for catching it and being able to post something. You know, being able to post that conversation like that. It's doing good too, by the way. But yeah, so that's the one. If not, then I spoke to a group of Muslims. Me and Anthony, we spoke to a group of Muslims, young guys, who were discussing the divinity of Christ in the Quran. And so we were having fun with that. That's going to be a good one. That's a good one. So yeah, look out for those guys and pray to God that somehow my memory card just starts working again. I don't know. I literally don't know what happened to it. Literally. So, but yeah, man, that's just tough. Yeah, anybody who's down there who has a belief in God. You could be a Muslim. You're probably a Unitarian claiming to be Christian. If you're a Jehovah's Witness, a Mormon, Oneness, Unitarian, you're welcome to join the stream and have a discussion on the scriptures and whatnot. So you're more than welcome, guys. I promise I don't bite.
You got GH Sense. What a hilarious comment he just put
Who?
in. GH Sense.
Oh, okay. What do you say?
He says that it was a law that punished your memory card. God is great.
God is bigger. He is bigger. He's bigger than your memory card, boy. Secure.
He's gonna say that, then your memory card's gonna be fine, and the video is gonna be posted. Then he's gonna look bad for saying that the law is so great.
Man. Have you watched their videos?
The
You watched all of them?
the tree Muslims. I haven't really watched any of them. I just sent you a couple of them because I thought maybe we yeah that
Mm-hmm.
I don't take the three Muslims that serious. I I guess I should in a way because they do have a pretty big following, but I don't think either one of them have any inkling into any theological doctrine that Islam has.
Nope.
To me, they look like just a bunch of like
Kids.
kids that just got out of a bar and are trying to make some money on YouTube. I don't even it to me again, and I could be wrong. This is just my own thing is I don't even think that they're truly Muslim.
You said you don't think they're truly Muslim?
No, it's almost like that Adam Salah or whatever his name is, like him and before Ali Dawa and him were buddies and whatnot. He used to do like a little podcast, him and his little buddy, and it was more like joking around. It was almost like being back in high school with your football buddies and you're just doing jokes and stuff like that, right? It didn't
Yeah,
even
yeah.
mean anything religious whatsoever, and that's the same feeling that I get from the three Muslims when I watch theirs. Is it just seems like it's just three buddies sitting around a locker room talking, and it's not really a religious theological discussion, right?
Nice. Nice. That's funny. We actually have somebody in the chat, it seems. His name says, I don't know, Abdul Hamid.
Yeah,
Abdul Hamid.
Abu
Is
Allah
that
is probably.
is that the kid that I spoke to? No, it can't be. Hold on. It sounds like because I think that the kid that I spoke to a few weeks ago that you guys saw the video of, he had the same name, Abdul Hamid, I think, but I'm not sure. But he says, "Why was Jesus begging for his life on the cross?" I would be happy to engage with you, Abdul Hamid, if you come on the stream. Come on the stream. Oh, yeah, he's one of those. He's one of those typical Muslims. You know, Mary was 12, Rebecca was 3, yada yada yada. He might be Alonzo Harris, honestly, or Safraz.
Yep.
That's how bad it is when you know You have a whole a community of trollers, a community of people like this. But you know, I can't imagine being one of the guys known for that. Like, oh, that's Avery on another account just trolling. You know, that's so embarrassing, bro. Like, y'all have no time in the day, no time but time to troll on every Christian channel, though. So, someone
You
said, "Got logic. You can't dunk on underage kids." Nah, but I could block their shot. I said, I won't dunk on them. I won't dunk on them, but I'll block their shot. I might cross them up a little bit and make them fall too, but I won't dunk on them. You're right. I won't dunk on an underage kid. What was you about to say, Chris?
No, I think it's just it's important to know that these trolls that you have in the chat, that have all of these different names, they love you so much that they're willing to subscribe to your channel. They're willing to be loyal to the channel, that every time you go live, Mr. God Logic, they will get on their phone and their computer at the same time under two different nicknames just to troll your live stream. I think that I think we should thank them, honestly.
I
At that point.
appreciate all of them. I appreciate all of them. Harriel said, "No traveling, Avery." No, my footwork is untouchable. I never travel. My footwork is impeccable. We have somebody in the backstage, Chris. We have somebody in the backstage. His name is Max27. Max27. You have to show your face on the screen. I can only see it. So just show your screen, show your face, so that I know that you're a real person and not a troll that's trying to show their naked parts. So the moment you show yourself on the screen that I can see, then you'll be able to come up. I got to see your face. Anyway, so until he does that,
it's only fair they see your face.
Yep, you see my face. I got to see your face, man, so that I know that you're not a troll and that you're a real person, not trying to mess up my stream. It's unfortunate that I actually have to say that, but hey, you know, humanity. This is humanity. Someone said, "I'm British. What is dunk?" It's it's basketball. It's when you dunk the basketball in the hoop. That's what they meant. Dunk. You can't dunk on kids, you know, underage. You know, it's like that.
You got to give a little bit of credit, though. It's not like the Europeans have really good basketball teams in the Olympics. Just joking.
Chris said it, not me. Chris said it. Nim said that CP gets a lot of folks showing naked bits. Ain't that crazy, man?
Yeah, it's just funny how people just want to get on the internet to show their giblets.
Mm-hmm. Max, saying that you won't means nothing to me. I need to see your face on your screen so that I know that you're a real person and that you can cooperate with the guidelines here. If you're unwilling to do that, I can't let you on because I don't know you. I don't know you. We have Kamal. Thank you, Kamal. More than welcome.
Dope.
What's up, my man?
Yeah, no, man. I was just, I'm just coming in. I've watched some of your YouTube videos. Much respect, bro.
Oh, thanks, bro.
It's always good to have someone as patient as you to really give the Muslims a hard time with their fake doctrine.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, I appreciate, you know, you tuning in and you know, being able to, you know, get something out of it. That's my hope, you know. That's the main reason why I try to practice the patience with them, is because I know that their arguments and this discussion needs to be heard by fellow believers, so they know how, they'll be familiar with it when they start talking to Muslims themselves and know how to handle these discussions. So I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you with the encouragement, for real.
Yeah, absolutely. Keep it up. We're getting more and more people out, on the platform, all across the world. Really bringing the heat to Islam. I believe more than it's ever been brought to them in times past.
Yeah, I agree.
Because now all their hadiths are translated into English, a language that the whole world knows. So we can go through the hadiths and really find out what these people believe within the more deeper realms of their religion. And then we also have, of course, the Quran translated into English, which again is a language the whole world knows. And that actually, I think the first time the Quran was translated into another language other than Arabic, I don't believe was any time before the 1800s.
Hello.
That's tough.
If I'm not mistaken.
That's tough.
So it goes to show why now people who aren't going to be easily manipulated look at their religion and ask them, okay, well, your religion says a lot of things, especially today, that are counterintuitive to basic tenets of morality.
Absolutely. Yeah, Kamal, you get it, man.
Anyway,
you get it.
I just wanna commend you for your work and keep it up, keep up the process, and maybe one day you'll become a big dog in the field, and and start chewing up these Muslim apologists one by one.
One by one. Yes, sir. I appreciate you, Kamal.
All right, man.
Thank
Take
you,
care.
man.
God bless you, Kamal.
So we got Max on the stream, and we also got a special surprise. What? We got Rob from Sentinel Apologetics. What's up, my brother?
Hey, guys. The only person I know here is Chris. Chris and I go way back, but I haven't spoken to him in a while. But God Logic, thanks for inviting me on the stream. Yeah.
Me and Mr. Robert Rowe go back. What is it? 11 years? 12 years, brother?
11 years?
Gotta be at least.
I reckon maybe 2012, 2013, 2014, around there. Somewhere around there, yeah.
What sound are you using? Your voice is good.
He's got a pro setup there. Pro.
Nah, trust me, this is just an ordinary setup.
It sounds really good. Like when I go back and listen to the streams, my mic doesn't sound like that. So I'm gonna need you to message me some tips, man. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know how I found the stream. Honestly, it literally, the first thing I'm seeing on YouTube is God Logic is live, open discussion.
Really?
And I'm like, yeah. I didn't even search your name. I didn't even know your YouTube channel existed. Is this one of those?
That's
the
crazy.
algorithm just showed it to me.
Rob, I'm Avery, man.
You're
Hunter's
Avery
fan.
through Hunter.
Yes. Yeah, that's me.
Right, okay.
That's me.
Okay, so we already that's providential timing right there.
Yes.
I didn't plan this. Like.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you're just hopping on and seeing what it was about.
I woke up this morning. Got myself a coffee, and there's nothing, like, I'm pretty much free today, and not much work and all that. So
awesome.
Yeah, I'm seeing you guys live, and I'm seeing Chris in your stream. So I'm like, okay, I'll set everything up, surprise him. But then it just so happens you behind the scenes, you're with Hunter. Like, that's amazing.
That's right. Yeah, Hunter's my brother, man. And so I'm trying to find a way to get Hunter on more often. Like how Chris is on all the time. I really would love Hunter to be on all the time too, more often. And even now, seeing you, I would love for you, if you're free on these days like this, I'd love for you to join the streams as often as possible, because obviously there's parts where you can touch on that, that will fill my gaps, and I can just watch you work, so I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm not
Awesome,
gonna lie.
brother. Yeah.
Like anything ancient Near Eastern.
See?
Or the weird rabbit hole sort of like journeys, long driven.
I always like to introduce my good friend here as like the Michael Heiser scholar of scholars. If you want to know anything about Michael Heiser, you just need to ask this man right here.
Yeah. A faithful. I mean, I don't claim to be, but yeah, I'm a pretty close reader of whatever Heiser writes, and like it's not that I wholesale, worship the guy or believe whatever he says, but the reason why I bounce off him very easily is because he talks and writes the way I do, or ultimately the way he thinks. So and everyone has their so-called like pen pal, I suppose. Like, if you come across an author that you really appreciate and you stick with, like he's kind of like the same thing applies to say music and a certain musician that you may always like, special to you. So yeah, Heiser's. There are many other scholars, but Heiser definitely was one of the reasons why I even came into the faith, and then joined Pal Talk a decade ago, and then bumped into Chris, and then from there it was that was a blast. It was a good laugh. Those Pal Talk rooms, and
there was me, there was Jay, there was a guy named General Han Solo,
which is me,
which is who we're talking to right now. So if there's anybody out there in the audience right now that is,
if you remember General Han Solo,
if you remember General Han Solo, this is him. This is him.
Wow, that's funny. Yeah, this is before my time. I don't know nothing about Pal Talk.
That was the Wild West, where you're just walking in, and you're not seeing. Like, I was completely naive. I'm walking in as a sort of like a hunter, because Hunter's so nice, so charitable, so patient. You know what he's like.
Yeah.
And Chris, I remember Chris Claus one time telling me, Rob, you need to be a little bit more stern, like a little bit more, because these people they're not like, when they call, like, we're talking here, non-Christians and specifically Muslims in Pal Talk, like they have an agenda, and that's, so Chris and I would sort of like work around that, like trying to show Christ's love through that, but at the same time being salt, right? So light and salt. So
yep, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. Well, I'm excited to have you here. We have somebody named Max on the stream. Max, hello. Thank you for, showing, stick with the guidelines. How are you, my man?
Hello. So I heard you guys describing the Don guy as being bullied, and he's a victim of that.
I wouldn't necessarily call him a victim, because, as Chris said, young Don, he handled himself very well. He handled it like a man, and he's very humble, and he used a lot of wisdom in handling it. What I'm saying is that these guys are continuing to push on this guy because he didn't accept the propaganda of Islam, and so he admits that he's, hold on one second. He admits that he's 2 months into Christianity, and they're already trying to debate him as if he's a theologian. So that's what I'm saying. They should come and challenge us, people who do this.
Yeah, I do believe that they should come challenge you, but I do believe that he described himself as being 2 months into the religion.
Mm-hmm.
He talks to people. He talks to people about Christianity like he knows everything. Like he is a true Christian, a Christian with true beliefs, or how do you call it?
He's a Christian. We agree. But the thing is, can I ask you a question?
Do you watch his streams? Do you watch his streams, or you just heard of him after the three Muslims like?
I watch his streams. I have watched his streams. I've been trying to get into his Discord, and I'll be probably joining his Patreon and joining his Discord within this month anyway. So, yeah,
Did
I've
you?
actually just a second though, Max.
Yeah, sorry.
But I just want to pose this just a quick question. Let's say a Muslim just converted to Islam, and within the first 2 months, they put him on the Christian Prince show.
Mm.
Would you be okay with that one?
But
Whoa, just answer yes or no, please.
if it's wrong to answer yes or no this situation.
I would assume so because we're
First,
talking about a
explain
Muslim and not a Christian now.
what's the Christian Prince show?
I'm pretty sure you know who Christian Prince is.
Nah, I don't. Sorry.
Max, are you a Muslim?
No,
What beliefs do you hold?
none.
What do you believe in God? Are you an atheist or what?
God.
All right. So, do you follow any particular religion?
Not really, but don't wanna talk into that or get too deep into that. Just wanna talk about the down point.
I need to because I need to know what type of person I'm talking to.
No, just
Because you
God.
know I'm a Christian. You know I'm a Christian.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
do you so you don't follow any particular book? No Quran, no
No.
Bible.
No.
So you don't believe that Muhammad's a prophet?
Yeah, can you
Kinda.
tell us?
It's
Can you
kinda.
tell us?
It's hella. Listen. It's hella.
Tell us
sad
Muhammad
when
is not. Tell
everyone
us
that
Muhammad is not a
everyone that
prophet.
goes in this life. What?
Yeah, Max.
It's
Tell
kinda
us Muhammad
sad
is
that
not a prophet.
everyone that goes in this live is just thought to be a Muslim. I just came to talk about that.
No,
Is
we're
it
cool
okay?
if you're not a Muslim, but if you're
Is
not
it
a
okay?
Muslim, you'd have no problem
Is
saying
it
that
okay?
Muhammad is not a prophet.
Is it okay?
It is okay if you say Muhammad is not a prophet.
So it is okay. It is okay to not talk about that.
No, Max, I need to know. Do you believe that Muhammad is a prophet?
Won't really talk.
I'm sorry?
Did you just say no? He's not a prophet.
Won't really talk because came to ask a question. These
You're
guys
on?
think that everyone that talks in this live stream or comes to them is a Muslim. That's kind of sad.
Well, so listen, Max. The title is Open Discussion.
You see in this?
Muslims, Hebrew Israelites, Unitarians, and all faiths are invited.
Yeah, and I came and said that.
So I'm asking
only
you,
gonna talk about the down point.
I asked you what group do you belong to. You said no
So,
group.
yeah,
I'm just asking you very simply.
Yeah.
Do you believe Muhammad is a prophet? If you don't,
I came to talk about Don. Did I say anything about this?
Why would you care about Don, young Don?
Who is
He wasn't-
who is
if you're not a
Christian
Muslim.
Prince? Nah, he's a joke. I came to talk about that. Didn't come to talk about any religious talk. Came to talk about
We can
Don.
continue to talk about Don. I just want to know if you're a Muslim or not.
Why?
Because I need to know what kind of person I'm dealing with.
A normal person.
Yeah, Muslims are, they have their typical beliefs and tactics. So I need to know if you're a Muslim or not.
I'm not coming to talk into religion. Just talking about a person, not his
Mac,
religion.
Here's a question. You won't even have to get in trouble. Okay.
I came to ask about Christian
Just a second,
Prince.
Max.
Who is
Max,
Christian
just
Prince?
a second, brother. Just a second.
Yeah.
Do you accept comic pictures of Muhammad?
What comic pictures?
Like, do you think it's okay for when people draw like cartoons featuring Muhammad?
Look at this thing, man. They kind of sad.
Rob, are you a Christian, Rob?
Yeah, that's why they attack. They just
well, let
think
me ask Rob.
everyone
Max,
doesn't
hold on, let me
believe
ask
in
Rob something.
Christianity is a
Rob,
Muslim.
hold on, Max. Rob, are you a Christian?
I sure am.
Chris, are you a Christian?
100%, brother.
Wow. Wow. It's so easy for you guys to say that. That's interesting. Max, are you a Muslim?
religious, not
In
intellect.
what way? Do
I
you believe
believe
that
in God.
Allah is do you believe that Allah is God?
I believe it's God. In
Do you
God.
believe Allah has a son?
I believe in God.
Okay. All right, thanks, Max. I appreciate you, man. When you're ready to have when you're not shy about what you believe, you can come back
Who
on.
is
Okay?
Christian? Who is Christian Prince?
Christian Prince is a Dawa destroyer. He debates Muslims and embarrasses them on his stream.
Mhm.
You should check him out. Check out his
So
YouTube channel.
he does debate. So he does
Yeah,
debates.
his YouTube channel is the Arabian Prophet, I believe it is. You can check him
So
out.
okay, he only does debates. He
He
does
speaks
debates.
Arabic. He speaks Arabic.
Yeah, he does debates.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
If a Muslim or Jew or anyone came to him, he came to debate. Yeah.
Yeah.
If
He does it live on his
he's
channel
not
every day.
knowledge, if someone is not knowledge and came to debate, isn't he stupid to debate?
Yes.
The guy who came to ask.
Yeah, the person who does not have knowledge, if he's
Yeah.
challenging a scholar or someone who's
Yes.
well knowledgeable, it's unwise for him to try to debate him. Instead, he should be asking questions.
Yes. Don did the same thing. So what?
I don't know. It looks. I saw when he was on the stream, and then they brought Uthman on the stream, and Don literally said, "I don't want to debate. I'm not trying to challenge you. You're a scholar of the Bible and the Quran. I'm not. I'm new to this, so I'm not trying to debate." That's exactly what he said. Uthman,
before the guy came, he was debating. They were already talking about religion before that.
Okay.
Hey Max, are you good at this one?
Someone going to.
How about me and you debate right now? Because you and Avery have been debating about young Dom. So how about me and you debate right now about the religion? How's that fair?
I don't talk about religion. I just came. The first thing I said, I won't talk about religion. Just talk about Don.
You don't want to debate with me, young Don.
I don't. I want to talk about the Don guy.
I think both is the same.
You're portraying him in a wrong way, or just a good way somehow. He is at the wrong to come into debate to people with knowledge. You said that someone going to debate with people with knowledge is wrong. Yes.
Yeah, the three Muslims don't have knowledge.
You watch his lives. You watch his lives.
Yes, I watch young Don's lives, and the three Muslims don't have knowledge.
You know a bit about history, yeah? American or European history, you know?
Again, we're supposed to be speaking about young Don.
Yeah. It is in the context of Don. It is in the
about
context
American and European history.
Yeah. I'm not gonna talk about religious history or something. You know how white people did to black people, how they used to call them.
I just want to know if you're a Muslim or not.
Listen, you know how.
That's all I want to know, bro.
What's your guess, Rob? What do you think he is?
This is giving me nostalgia and a deja vu of Pal Talk over. But now it's transferred now to StreamYard 10 years later. Like nothing's changed.
Nothing has changed, bro. It's the same stuff.
And you know what they used to do? Like once Chris and me and a few others would sort of there's nothing more to discuss. We called it the reset button. So what they would do is they'd kick all of us out, right? And then they start playing either the prayer, the call for prayer, or something. Like they may do a recitation, and then it's like the room sort of resets, and then give it maybe an hour, and then they start wanting, I don't know, they get restless, I suppose, and impatient. They want then say non-Muslims to come back in, and the moment you have non-Muslims coming back in, then it's this, okay, you're a non-Muslim. Do you know about the Quran and that Muhammad is Allah's messenger, and so we call it the reset. And
Mashallah.
Yeah.
Mashallah. Well, Max, if you won't tell us if you're a Muslim or not, then I don't think there's any much for us to. We can't go any further, man. I'm sorry. So
it really doesn't make sense that you even have a point of view of what young Don said. on the Three Muslim podcast if you're not Christian nor Muslim?
How?
So you're not a Muslim? Is it? Can we be? You're not a Muslim?
He agreed. Your friend got apologetics. He agreed with what I said, without talking
No,
about Islam or Christianity.
no. I didn't agree with that at all. I said you tell me that you're a Muslim or not, and then we could continue maybe.
We had the same point. We had the same point.
All right,
Even
thanks, man.
even if we
I
didn't talk
appreciate you,
about that.
Max. I appreciate you, Max. Take care, bro. Take care. All right. We have somebody else in the back channel. Muko.
Oh,
I'm sorry
please don't
messed
talk
up your
about
name.
Young Don when you come on, guys.
I don't know what this gone.
Muko, can you show your screen? I don't recognize your profile. So can you show your screen, your face on the screen, so I make sure you're not a troll, please and thank you.
So Robert, what was going on is Young Don is a YouTuber. He's got a couple 100,000 subscribers, and he's a new Christian. He's been a Christian for a couple of months now. He's just learning his faith and whatnot, and he's talking to his subscribers.
Do you
and his
spell it
viewers.
Don, D-O-N?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
And so he went on to the Three Muslims channel. He made a few claims, which I probably would have made too, when it comes to Islam, and they were trying to make fun of them. And all of a sudden, they brought Sheikh Uthman on to.
Oh, but just quickly, this guy, I saw him talk with Apostate Prophet.
Yes, sir,
Yeah.
you did so.
Yes, and he went
Yeah.
down the young earth and the precept route. By the way, not to cause any friction among brothers, but yeah. Anyway, now finish your point. But I could tell he's sort of new to the whole thing, and at least he's respectable to Apostate Prophet. But yeah, finish your story about the Muslims.
No, yeah. So they called in
Yeah.
Sheikh Uthman to be able to debate this young kid. So he didn't really want to have a discussion. He ended up leaving. And then after that live stream, they ended up making like 10 videos about him and titling it with his name and everything else like that. So that's what we were calling the bullying, making those extra videos, having his audience go over and harass his audience and things to that nature.
Yep.
So,
that's
so
what's
has
up.
he come on this show?
Not on this. He hasn't been on this stream yet.
So you haven't spoken with him, Avery?
I haven't spoken with
No?
him personally. No, I haven't spoken
Okay.
with him personally. I did reach out to him. I hit him up on like Instagram. I commented on his YouTube video. But you know, he has a big following, so I doubt he even checks his comments or back channels or whatever. So it's up to, you know, everyone else to try to get the word out or whatever. But I would love to have him on the stream and,
Yeah, he's
talk
got-
about and stuff, you know.
Seeing his subs, it's like, yeah,
Yeah, the dude got like 200,000.
impressive. He's got it says here, young Don the Source God, 2 million subs.
No. It's Young Don the Rebirth, something like that. Rebirth.
Yeah, Young Don Reborn. I'm on,
Yeah,
and then
Reborn.
under his channel tab, he has 3 channels, and one is
Yes.
specifically 2 million subs.
Oh, so that's his other channel. Interesting. Yeah, that's great. All right, we have
Yeah,
somebody
it's
coming
about-
up on
yeah.
the stage. Oh, sorry, Chris, you was about to say something, man.
No. It seems to be just an art channel. So
Moko, is that how to say your name?
Yes, you hear me?
I can hear you. You're not gonna do no weird stuff on the camera, right?
Yeah, camera is broken. Sorry.
Okay. You said you're a Muslim, so you're a man of truth, right?
Yeah, like you guys know.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So welcome to the panel. I think you've been on here before, haven't you?
Yes, once.
Okay, yeah. So I remember you now. That's why I let you up, because I remembered you. So you wasn't
thank you.
a weirdo. So you're welcome on the stage.
Thank you.
Is there something that you wanted to bring up specifically? Because usually I might start the conversation, but I'll let you kind of ask your question or bring your argument if you have one.
No, it's because I was just looking into your chart and wanted to know what is the subject about.
Well, it's we don't really have a subject per se right now. Right now, we've been talking about the young Don situation. I don't know if you know, he was a popular streamer who recently had a run-in with a group called the Three Muslims and with Sheikh Uthman on their stream. And so we were just talking about that a little bit and how I would love to talk to the Three Muslims myself, and have either go on their stream or them join us here. But there's no particular topic per se.
Hang on. Young Don converted to Islam?
No.
You're looking at a video that says Young Dom with an M.
Oh.
You see how they've titled it?
Yeah, they did on
try
purpose
to make it look like it was him. Yeah, they did it purposely.
Yeah. Okay. Because it says you're emotional and
everything.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm.
Not yet. Soon he will convert.
Nah, he's strong in his faith, man. The Holy Spirit got him.
Come on, he's only 2 months.
I know, and none can snatch out of the Lord's hand. That's what Christ says.
This is
Hamza's made a video on him. That's interesting.
See, everybody's hopping on it. It's the hot topic right now, Rob.
Well, I came at the right time.
You came at the right time, brother.
Awesome. I'm ready to get back in the saddle.
Yes, sir. What's up, Life? We got Life in the building. What's going on, dude?
What up?
All right.
What's up?
We don't have
chilling. They're doing that because he got a lot of followers, bro. You already know. He's got a lot of followers, so let's try to reach all his followers and show how much of a quote unquote liar he is. But the dude, he actually did answer some of the questions to the best of his abilities. You can tell the Holy Spirit was working through him, as best as he could. But like I said, I do believe that he kind of, he did kind of need to. He needs to basically learn a little bit more before he tries to jump in. I don't think he should have had a conversation with Uthman just at all. But while he's on live, you never know. You never know what's going on. When you're on live, the pressure to answer questions and stuff. But I do agree. When he first came on, he clearly told everybody, look, I'm 2 months in and, it is what it is. But, some of the questions that he did make a mistake though towards the end of the stream. I'm not going to bring it up on live, but he could use some help. So I'll put that out there. I'll just say that.
Amen. That's what we're here for.
So Moko, he make a lot of a mistake.
I make
that's somewhere where
everybody
we can start actually. So Moko, where do you think young Don made a mistake? And give us an example of what you thought was a mistake. Maybe we can jump this off with that.
Yeah. Just first of all, when you're just new in the religion, you should learn your religion first, before criticize other religion.
I agree.
It's a very bad start to begin with. So you should have first of all start to learn his religion. He's Christian, I guess, no?
Yes, he's a Christian. Yeah.
Yep.
He's only 2 months. Being a Christian, so you should have let him some time to learn his faith, to feel his faith, to know what is all about.
I think that's reasonable criticism there.
Yeah, and then come and challenge or criticize other religion. It doesn't going to help you.
I definitely agree with you, and I'd say the same thing with Khalilullah, and I'd say the same thing with Jake the Muslim, the metaphysician. When they become Muslim, within the first little while, they started attacking Christianity right away. And I think that if you go into a religion, maybe you should make yourself at home before you start inviting people in or condemning another religion. I definitely agree with you on that.
Yeah. This is the masterpiece mistake he has made. And when you criticize a religion, doesn't matter Christian, Muslim, Judaism, whatever, Buddhist. You enter in a gate and a paddle that you are going to hurt a lot of people by especially if you don't know what you're talking about. It was like having a very 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 bad word about Islam.
Hey Moko,
So
what bad argument about Islam did Young Don present that you thought was bad?
Oh, wait, before you answer that, Moko, bringing on Brendan and Nuh, welcome to the stage. Brendan, you can come up. You said you're free right now, Brendan, or you'll be busy in an hour and a half, you said?
Okay, ready?
Am I on?
Yeah, you're on.
Okay, sorry, I can't see. Yeah, I have to take care of something right now. So I'm just about to leave. And then I'm gonna be busy until about, I don't know what time you guys are at, but I'll be free at 7 my time, which I think is you'll be done, I would imagine.
Yeah. Where are
I'm
you?
in Central. I'm in Central Time.
Central Time. What's that?
Yeah, it's.
And what specifically did you want to talk about? Very briefly.
I mean, I'm initially I got on here. I spoke with you guys briefly.
I remember you.
Yeah, at some point in the past, and I just keep trying to get back on, but the timings just don't line up for me for evenings and stuff at the moment. But I'm here like to discuss, Islam, to discuss like, I mean, even like the claim that you just made that like the dude's strong in the Holy Spirit, and like once you have the Holy Spirit in you, none can take you away from God, right? Like that idea. One second, stop. As you can see, I got kids here. And I know that from like what the Bible says, but I'm definitely somebody who feels that, I was, as you would say, like in the Holy Spirit. I mean, I was a believing Christian, like, but I think there's aspects of Islam that make sense to me. And I would say I'm kind of stuck in between the two. Like I identify more as a Muslim than I do as a Christian. And I think it's a middle ground that maybe other people can relate to being in that space. But I have issues that I could raise with Christianity, and I have issues I can raise with Islam. Like I don't have a problem saying my problems with Islam either. But I think as a terminology, the idea of being a Muslim or one who submits to God should be, whether you're Christian or Muslim or whatever you call it, like at the end of the day, I would say our duty as human beings, people who believe in one God, should be to submit our will to that creator, right? Like that to me seems to be a good description of what our path should be.
I'd
love to have a discussion with you, man. That'd be awesome too.
Me too. And I'm going live tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is 8 p.m. Central Standard Time with God Logic as well. So if that,
well, maybe I can try to jump on that one. That one would work. That one would work better for me. I'm here with like my kids and stuff, and I got to take care of family things. So
how many hours would that be from now, Chris?
What's that, sir?
How many hours would that be from now?
It will be in 2.5 hours, sir.
Oh, all right.
Then yeah,
I'll try to aim for that.
I can join you as well. Yeah.
Is it? I'm sorry, I didn't see who was saying it. Is that Rob?
It's Chris.
Yeah, it's me.
Chris
and Rob. Yeah.
Okay.
Chris. His channel literally name is Chris Claus, Brendan.
Okay.
So
then I'll look that up. You said it's going to be. I'll be right with you. Sorry, my son's. Like I said,
it'll be
I probably shouldn't have jumped on here live. I apologize.
It's all good. It'll be at 8 p.m. your time.
Perfect. Okay.
Okay. So Chris Claus, that's the channel. We'll be on live.
Sounds good.
Later, okay?
All right.
See you then.
Inshallah, I'll talk to you then. Bye.
All right. Take care. Lord willing.
And you're always welcome on my live streams, Rob.
Oh.
Inshallah.
I need to now quickly subscribe to everyone.
yeah, man. Follow the streams, bro, so you know when to hop on, man.
It's going to be fun. Radical Moderate's going to be watching on my stream tonight, and he's going to see General come on.
Radical moderate? He's gonna.
Hey, Chris, you might be right.
He's gonna
man.
fall off his chair.
Almost.
Like.
Almost 1,000,
What'd you say,
man.
Mo?
Almost 1,000 already.
We got you almost 1,000.
I said, Chris, you might be
Nice.
right. He said
We're getting you there.
He
I
said
told
towards
you.
the end of September, almost 1,000. So I mean, you know, 220.
I think you're
220
laughing.
more. You know, in there.
I think you're lagging on your end.
That was our goal. We need
Again?
1,000 subscribers for defund the devil. We're almost there. We're only a couple hundred away, people.
Yeah. Okay, let's get back to the fun stuff. So, man, I don't want to. How do I say your name again, Moko.
Yeah.
That's good, Moko. Okay. And then we also have Nuh. So Nuh, you can also jump in whenever you like. First of all, we have a question. Hey, ask Life what happened to his live stream yesterday. What happened, Life?
Nothing happened. It's still up.
Okay, somebody's asking what happened to the live
I
stream.
think it was set for tomorrow, I think.
Oh, yeah, it's set for tomorrow, not today.
So there's a live stream set for tomorrow. All right, so hey, God Logic, I have a question. Are you in college and do you? Because I want to live there. All right, Moko. What were we talking about before?
We were talking about the bad argument that Young Dunn brought on the three Muslims. What Moko thought was the bad argument.
Yes. Okay, good. No, San Diego's expensive. Go ahead.
Really about argument. You know, when you don't have a ground to stand on, you know, if you don't know the basics of Islam, if you want to attack or you want to defend your faith, you have to know and your faith and the faith of who you're going to attack or you're going to challenge.
Moko, we've already stated this, sir. Can we get to the argument part that was the bad argument that Young Don presented to the three Muslims?
The bad argument, I didn't watch the whole sentence or the whole video. I just watched what it was bad about him.
So Moko, let me just get this out. So your problem with Young Don is simply he's a Christian that's been a Christian for 2 months, and he went on a Muslim stream talking about Islam. No, let me finish. And you don't think that he has the knowledge of Islam, so therefore it was bad for him to do. That's what you're looking at.
Not exactly. No. It's not. He can go to challenge whatever he want if he feel like to. It's not about that. He has been challenged. He has been invited, or I don't know how he get to the panel of the three Muslim.
They invited him.
But before in this video, he was like, you know, very, very arrogant and insulting Islam and
what did he say? What did he say to insult Islam?
Said that Islam is satanic.
That's a bad thing?
Sorry?
Where did he lie?
Yeah. Where did he lie? If I said Christianity is satanic, where did I lie?
Yeah, we're going to ask you to prove that it's satanic. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so that's what we're saying. If Young Don said that Islam is satanic, and you're saying no, that's a lie, how is it a lie? Like, tell us, how is it a bad thing to say?
The whole point. The whole point. He didn't have no argument to defend his point when he was in the panel of the three Muslims.
You just said that you didn't hear it.
All right, so let's do this. Let's forget about the done conversation. Hey, Rory.
Yeah, let's get into some discussion.
Yeah, let's get into some discussion.
Yeah.
So I think and you know my view. I think that Islam is satanic. One of the reasons why I think Islam is satanic, I'll tell you why. Because Muhammad was bewitched according to authentic hadith. He was bewitched by the devilish powers and was bewitched for a while. And so therefore, I believe that he is not trustworthy when it comes to inspiration. What do you say? Do you think that that's a bad, presentation? What are your thoughts?
my thought, first of all, you personally, you don't have the knowledge of Islam. You don't know exactly. You don't know Islam. You don't know what it is exactly the literature. What is the hadith, true or not? You know, you don't have all the baggage to understand what is the historical view of a Muslim. So from your point of view,
but that's your assumption, though, isn't it?
No problem. This is not my assumption. It's just you cannot even. I'm sure you cannot tell me which hadith, which book, who write it, and who is the author of that hadith that you are claiming to be. You know, you can't, because I know
you're not dealing with normal Christians, Moko. We will be able to tell you if the hadith is mutawatir, if it is sahih, if it is Hasan, or if it's da'if. And we know all of the different chains of narration that you want to appeal to. We know that there are different books that you have to accept, not just Sahih Muslim and not just Sahih al-Bukhari, but there are also different hadith, authentic hadith collections other than just those two as well. We can go into
and not just that, but even literature that the Quran plagiarizes from. It plagiarizes from the Talmud. It plagiarizes from Second Temple sources, and it doesn't go back before Jonah, the Book of Jonah. Like Muhammad has zero knowledge anywhere back from the 8th century BC and back. So whoever compiled the Quran it's a pastiche, a mushmash of late exilic Second Temple, 1st century, and mostly rabbinic literature, and also Gnostic literature, just mashed into like a Gnostic Nestorian form of Arabian Gnosticism. And that's the Quran in a nutshell.
If you want to say that the Quran is satanic, you have to read and analyze what is satanic about, because I don't think someone satanic, he will say believe and love and obey to the only true God, the only one true God, and I send my messenger who are tell, you know, Abraham, Isaac, Ishmael, Jacob, Moses.
But where do these stories come from?
The stories come from the Adam. You know, you see.
Do we have his book? Do we have Adam's book?
And are you sure?
No, we don't have. Do you have Adam's book?
Well, we don't claim that Adam had a book.
We don't claim also.
But you just said the Book of Adam.
No, I didn't say the Book of Adam. I said the beginning is with Adam, the father of all.
That contradicts science. Adam's not the beginning.
No, but
Do you believe in science? Do you trust science?
I am a scientist. I work in astronomy.
Don't believe God then.
How does seriously? How does that make any sense?
You cannot.
Do you believe in? Yes.
You can't believe in God and science, Rob. You didn't get the picture, man.
Can you believe in God?
I'm pretty sure Reformation Europe is the grounding for why science emerged during the Renaissance.
No, but you don't answer my question. Do you believe in God? You as a scientist.
Yeah, I believe in God, and I believe he's a logos principle, a prime mover with logic and reason. And he sets up laws and so on. He's consistent. He makes the system uniformitarian and regular. And that in itself, according to Romans 1, declares his invisible powers to be magnificent and beautiful and consistent. He's a covenant-keeping God with the laws of nature. Is Allah covenant-keeping God with the laws of nature?
No, but which God do you believe to? Do you believe in Christian God, and Judaism God, and Islam God?
Yeah, according to the testimony of first century Christianity and back into the Old Testament period, that particular God, Yahweh, that's the God I believe in.
So hold on, let me cut in here, because remember how we started on this train. I said that I believe that Islam is a satanic religion, and I gave a reason why. I feel like you didn't really address that yet. So was the reasoning of that I gave that Muhammad was bewitched for some time and therefore is untrustworthy in his inspiration?
Okay, show
Do you
me.
think that that's
Show us that the hadith that is been bewitched, please.
okay? Yeah, no problem.
You have-
So
Yeah.
and as I'm getting this, I would like to know: have you ever heard of this before?
Yeah. So many times.
Okay, so you know about this.
To switch the channel because it's over again. In fact, you Christian, you are easy to deal with because you have always the same argument.
Well, yeah, these same arguments work.
Yeah,
That's why.
no. Do you works? No. You make our faith stronger.
Oh, beautiful. Okay, so you tell me. I
Yeah.
want to see, and I'm curious. I want to see how this makes.
By the way,
you
it's in the Quran as well.
Yes, it is. Chapter 22.
These people claim, like in Surah 25, that Muhammad's bewitched.
Yes.
But also in the Bible, Jesus he has been bewitched.
Who?
You know he's saying Jesus. You know what's interesting is that he's saying that Jesus was bewitched when he was tempted by the devil. It's interesting to me. So here we have an example where someone successfully bewitched Muhammad to where, watch what it says. You guys can see it, where it says,
yes,
narrated Aisha, the mother of believers. Once the prophet was bewitched so that he began to imagine that he had done a thing which in fact he had not done. So we have a successful bewitching going on here. While when we look at Jesus' story in the wilderness, the devil tried everything he could to tempt Jesus and to gain victory over him, but failed miserably. But that's your best contention against the fact that your prophet was bewitched. You have to refer to a story where Jesus was successful against the devil. Muhammad failed against the devil, while Jesus prevailed against the devil.
Excuse me. From the hadith, he's showing you that he has not been bewitched.
He has not been bewitched?
Yeah, look. You can read it.
Says, yeah. Do you want to read it?
Once the prophet was bewitched, so that they began to imagine that he had done a thing which he have not done it.
Yes, so he was bewitched, and he
No.
thought he was doing something that he didn't done. That was the bewitching that was upon him.
No.
He went into Matrix land.
Turned into Neo.
He thought he was dodging bullets, but really, it's all in his mind.
Now, Mopo's dodging the bullets right now, bro.
Yeah. For a sense,
hey, Hunter's in the chat, man. Hunter, man, God bless you. It's good to see you there.
Hunter, we got our guy Rob on the stream, man.
Yeah, Hunter should join.
Yep.
The thing is, I don't have the hadith with me. This is the problematic because I cannot refute you with another hadith who say that he has not been witched, because what we have to understand here is what he has done to think that he has been witched. He has another hadith to explain.
Yeah, you're right. There is another hadith to
By the
explain.
way, Avery, Hunter's in the back.
Oh, he's finally here?
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Oh, that is him. Come on up, Hunter. What's up, brother?
Man, I've been here the whole time. No, I'm just kidding.
No, you have not. Stop it. But yeah, you're absolutely
Hunter.
right.
Rob, missed you, man.
Hunter, you won't believe it. I didn't plan this. I just turned on YouTube. I didn't even know this YouTube channel even existed. It's just showing live. I'm seeing Chris Claus on, and I just joined it, and then Avery's like, hey, I'm in conversation with you and Hunter. And I'm just like, what?
Look at God.
Yeah.
Look at that. Yeah. That's what he said. He said divine providence.
Yep.
But yeah, so let's go ahead and actually get some context to this, yeah, because he's saying that there's another hadith that explains this, which he is correct. Moko, you are correct that there is another hadith that explains this. This is what we're going to read. So, narrated Aisha, again, here's the full story. Magic was worked on the prophet so that he began to fancy that he was doing a thing which he was not actually doing. So magic was worked on Muhammad successfully to the point where he thought he was doing a thing which he had not done. One day he invoked Allah for a long period and then said, I feel that Allah has inspired me as how to cure myself. So he needs to cure himself. He's in a condition that needs to be fixed. Two persons came to me in my dream and sat, one on my head and the other by my feet. One of them asked the other, what is the ailment of this man? So what's wrong with him, Moko? The other replied, he has been bewitched. So he was bewitched, Moko. The first asked, who has bewitched him? The other replied, Lubayd bin al-Assam. The first one asked, what material has he used? The other replied, a comb, the hair gathered on it, and the outer skin of the pollen of the male date palm. The first asked, where is that? The other replied, it is in the well of Dahran. So the prophet went out towards the well and then returned and said to me on his return, its date palms are like the heads of the devils. I asked, did you take out those things which the magic was worked? He said, no, for I have been cured by Allah, and I am afraid that this action may spread evil amongst the people. Later on, the well was filled up with earth.
There you are.
Yeah. So here we go. So we have the context that he was actually indeed bewitched. Yes.
He has been. Let's put the fact. He has been poisoned.
But I'm poisoned, bewitched.
Wait.
He was poisoned by somebody else, but this is talking about when he was actually bewitched.
Let me finish.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So poison. It was. Don't forget that Prophet Muhammad was a human being. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So the poison have affected him. So he has been deluded. He has been, in fact,
bewitched.
No, not bewitched. Bewitched is.
Why are you saying not be? Yeah, tell me what bewitched is. What is that?
No, bewitched because the way you interpret it is you interpret it like the devil is touching him. No, it has been poisoned.
Wait, what is? No, tell me what does it mean to be bewitched? Because it's interesting that they use this word here over and over. Why do multiple hadiths say bewitched and not poisoned? Because I can find you hadiths that literally say he was poisoned.
In Arabic, is poison. We don't.
Okay, can you show me any lexicon that translates the word poison as bewitched?
Specifically, just to also just butt in here, it's actually more so to do with the ancient Near Eastern superstition of what's known as the evil eye. So an evil eye has absolutely nothing to do with like pharmakia, like medical aid or something like that. This is something that is like you're sending a spell or a curse spiritually.
The scientist,
like a witch doctor. Hence bewitched.
What's happening exactly? I'm going to tell you what's happening. It was a woman Jew who has prepared a meal, and from that meal she put poison on it.
Yeah, that's poison, not bewitchment. We're talking about two different stories right now.
No. It's the same story.
No, it's not, because she used food, bro. No. She used food to poison him, while here it says that magic was worked on him. Yes, magic was worked on him, and the magic, the source of the magic was a comb and some hair that was on the comb, not food.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Let me finish, so you will understand completely the story.
All right.
She took from there the hair of the prophet, and she went to do a magical trick, or I don't know, like you say,
Magic. Yes, bewitchment.
magic
Yes.
him. Okay, that things that you read it, that Allah cure him. You know what I'm saying? Without nothing, no medicine, nothing. He just cured him. He showed him from the dream how he cured him, and he cured him. You know what I'm saying? So that effect, it didn't work with to him, because that woman,
What do you
she
mean it
can't.
didn't work? Wait. Time out.
Didn't.
What do you mean it didn't work? Did he? So let me ask you this:
It was.
Did Muhammad? Wait. Did Muhammad begin to think that he was doing something which he really didn't do?
Yeah. Yes. He did. But it had.
So good. So it actually
No.
did work on him.
No,
Right?
you think the magic trick, it was just to make him think he did something that he didn't do. No,
I don't care what the Moko. It doesn't
Okay.
matter what the purpose of the magic trick was. The fact is that the magic trick worked. That's it.
No,
Yeah,
It made
and then it regardless if according to the text,
he didn't. Oh, sorry,
that
guys.
Allah
He didn't.
cures him.
He cured him.
Can I just make an observation here? Like, regardless if the text says that Allah cured him, the point is that some form of bewitching took place, and then supposedly he gets cured by his God, Allah.
So
the question we are raising is, why was Muhammad even why was he able to even be bewitched to begin with in the first place? That's
chapter 16,
that's what's remarkable.
Chapter
yes,
16 of the Quran answers that question.
To answer to your question, but if you cut me every 5 seconds, it will be difficult. So the thing is,
but Moko, we won't. I promise. I'll let you talk. I'll let you talk. But please, you have to be real and honest in your response. Like, don't insult our intelligence here. Okay, we read what was in our face. It's not the story where he was poisoned. It was a woman, or we don't even know it was a woman in particular. I didn't see that part, but someone took the comb where his hair was on it, and they used that to do a magic trick to bewitch him. That's what we read. So don't insult our intelligence.
If you know the literature, you will see that that same person she take hair from the prophet when he was affected by the poison. Because guys, you have to understand, you have to read fully the hadith, because it's not only this hadith. It's fully is with 3 companions. Okay, with him 3. The 2 companions die. Only him survive. That's proof that he was the prophet and he was saved by Allah. Because if you want to read the hadith, no problem, but be fair. Read all the story about it. Because you guys, what you choose and pick. This is not good. This is not going to help you, my friend. If you want to defend your faith, if you want to challenge Islam, you better come with better argument. Because all the story, it shows you that this story, he was not alone. He was with 2 people, 2 friends of him. They all eat the meat, and only him gets sick and deluded. That's why you have that feeling that he was doing things that he was not doing. But the other guy.
Can you read Arabic, Moku?
No, sorry, I don't.
You don't? Well, I have a friend who speaks Arabic. He was able to actually pull out the word that's used there in the hadith that's translated as bewitched. And this is the literal meaning of it here in the dictionary, in the lexicons. Art or practice of magic, non-gerund of verb to witch, power to influence like that of a witch, power exercised by beauty or eloquence, or the like, bewitching, charm, witching, magic, sorcery, wizardry, witchery.
Can I also share my screen?
Yeah. You got it.
Avery, were you reading from Sahih Muslim or Sahih Bukhari?
I was reading from Sahih Bukhari.
Was that book 76? Hadith 5766?
It's book 59. I read book 59 and I read book 58. So the
all
number
right,
of
I'll show you this rendering of it.
Okay.
I think this will make you this is quite interesting.
Okay, even for argument's sake.
So see how it says here.
Zoom in.
So
a
this
bit
is
for
Sahih Bukhari 5766. Magic was worked on Allah's messenger, so that he began to imagine that he had done something although he had not. Okay. And then it continues on. And it's interesting how, I mean, the translation makes it much more clear. It's like, what is the disease of this man? And the other replied, he's under the effect of magic. The first one asked, who has worked magic on him? And it's that Jew from the tribe. Mm-hmm. Find it curious that a Jew is able to work magic.
Right. And what is
and then it's like there's the comb language, and supposedly he gets healed. So the question we're raising here is, how was this even, like, it starts, magic was worked on Allah's messenger. How is that even possible to begin with?
I'm going to tell you how did it begin with. Because to prove that he was a true prophet, because magic have been put on him, they have been poisoned, and they didn't affect his religion, his message.
Yes,
it has been. No, he did not.
Yeah, the Quran.
For you, he did. For you, he did, of course. But for us, he did not. And
what do you mean for you?
But I mean, that very act foretold his death. I mean, he even foretold his death in the Quran. It says if he, falsifies anything, his aorta will be cut. And you have sources of him literally speaking of one of these instances where, he was poisoned, and then that's ultimately how he died. So just because for you it doesn't affect the religion, for us on the outside looking in, it seems very telling that a lot of the stars didn't align for this guy.
No, it actually did affect the religion. It literally says in chapter 22 that Satan used Muhammad's tongue and infiltrated the recitation of the Quran, but Allah had to take out what Satan threw in there. Like bewitchment to me.
No, yeah, of course. But I read the Quran. I never got what you said.
Can I hear from our guest why he's a Muslim? Like what is so grand about Muhammad and Islam that gives you meaning and purpose in this life?
The purpose in Islam is everything. Islam is how you have to behave in life, have to be in life. Look, guys, look at your society. It's messed up. Feminism, drugs, alcohol, prostitution, pornography.
So you're telling me a 7th century Arabian prophet is able to dictate how a 21st century culture ought to work.
Your country is not Christian anymore. I don't know what you're talking about. If Christianity was so wonderful, why don't you save your people from there? Look at your society.
How is this an apologetic for Islam?
Islam is still if you go to the Middle East, if you go to Africa, they still live Islam. The family is preserved. The faith is preserved. They pray 5 times a day, every day. You hear the adhan. They fast. Did you understand? They don't drink alcohol. They don't fornication. There's no drugs. Do you understand?
I know of these ascetic practices with many non-Muslim friends. They practice the same thing. How is that evidence for Islam and the verification of Muhammad as a prophet from Allah?
You're all guys from America, no? I suppose.
I'm Australian.
Australian. It's the same. The Western society is completely is gone. Is going to the bush. It's going to the, like you said, satanic way. And you know exactly what I'm talking about. You see, so how Christians have been affected your society? Can you tell me? If Christian is the truth, why don't
How
what
okay,
happened?
in the Bible, you have Jesus, which is the founder of Christianity, right? The God man, Jesus Christ, second person of the Trinity. He himself tells Pilate one grand claim that all Christians, Orthodox Christians, agree with, and that is, my kingdom is not of this world. So when Christians are meant to be as salt and light on a hill with respect to all, the Great Commission, go into all the world, preach the gospel, that sort of thing, make disciples, that means the way we interact with the world is such that we are in it but not of it. So therefore, that when you then look back 2,000 years of church history, you start to see the wonders of that Great Commission take place both in an east and west sort of direction. You start to see an improvement technologically, medically, socially. So-called Greco-Roman superstition starts to discontinue. And then the emergence of the Renaissance and what we call Reformation Europe in the 1500s then brings about a much more high-ordered Western philosophy and Western civilization, all because of Christianity, not Islam. So for you to then suggest that there's a so-called decay of society, that is a very subjective, relativistic, very personal judgment on the way society is behaving. It has nothing to do with the credentials of Christianity as a religion and what it has done, moving humans forward for the last 2,000 years.
No, it's not true. Because if Christianity was it was working. It was like you said. You will not have in the West society that kind of the degradation of
Is Islam behind
humanity.
Western civilization and Western democracy?
No.
Then
No.
there you go. Your argument is refuted. The reason why we have the West to begin with is because of Judeo-Christian morals and values and ethics and the belief system as a whole.
No. The Roman Empire was before Christianity. What are you talking about?
But the Roman Empire is not Western democracy. The Roman Empire was the Roman Empire.
Rome
it's not.
Yes, he is.
No, it's not.
Yes, he is. It's from there.
No.
Christianity has become
go all the way back. Go all the way back to the book
No,
of Daniel.
no.
You already have kingdoms laid out prophetically, starting with Nebuchadnezzar, Babylon, and it ends with Rome. Christianity, which is the rock that smites the statue, Christianity is what has now emerged for the last 2,000 years. Christ's kingdom.
Amen.
Okay, Christ, like you said, Christ's kingdom. There was before Christ. There was Christianity.
Oh Lord, I think it went over his head.
There was Christ followers before Christianity. Wow, what an anachronistic question. That makes no sense logically.
Just Christ. Did he know that there was Christian people?
A better way to phrase the question would be, were there Yahweh worshippers before Jesus? And the answer is yes. We call them Israelites. We call them Jews.
No.
The covenant people of Yahweh.
Israelite people doesn't recognize Christianity. In fact, they even say that your faith is false. And
can you verify that
yes, of
that
course.
Yahweh of the Old Testament
of course
discounts Christians of the New Testament?
Excuse me. Is the Judaism recognize Christianity?
Okay.
Did you know
how many is Judaism monolithic? Is Judaism monolithic?
No.
Explain to him what that means.
Monolithic means there's just one flavor of Judaism. So, like, I'll give you a hint. How many forms of Judaism was there in the New Testament?
I don't know.
So there's the Pharisees, and you have the Sadducees, you have the so-called schools of thought.
Yeah, but this is
you had the
sect.
two schools of thought with respect to, say, divorce and marriage.
Yeah,
you had
but
the
this is
Essenes, the Qumran Jews, right? So you have what's called Second Temple Judaism, and the mainstream form of Second Temple Judaism is the Pharisees. That leads into Christianity because they believed in this thing known as the resurrection. The Sadducees didn't. Now, the Judaism you're describing is the rabbinic form of Judaism, which is a completely offshoot form from 70 AD onwards, when the Romans came and destroyed the temple. There was no more Orthodox Judaism of the first century. Like, once that happened and the dispersion took place, the diaspora, that's it. And then you have rabbinic
but
Talmudic
those people
Judaism.
was not Christian. Excuse me,
So Talmudic Judaism comes on the scene, and they go into like more so a philosophical, form of Judaism, because they're trying to spiritualize the physical mannerisms that they had when the temple was functioning, because they had to have physical sacrifices and so on. When Jesus comes on the scene, it's finished.
No, excuse me,
So
but
there's no more need for any of that.
The time of the second temple, the first temple, Moses, David, Solomon, they never worship Jesus Christ. So I don't know what you're talking about.
Christianity is Second Temple Judaism. That's my point.
Yeah, no.
So how can you say Christianity is not associated with Judaism when Christianity is Judaism?
True. There is no Jews in hurt. He will say the same thing like you said now. This is a pure lie. So stop.
What's the ethnic background of Paul?
Paul? Which Paul?
Paul of the New Testament. What's his ethnic background?
But he never saw. It was not a disciple.
According to the text, what is his ethnic background?
He was not. According to the text, Paul was not the disciple of Jesus Christ. That's it.
We are talking. I asked you a specific question. You said that there's no such thing as Jewish Christians. So I'm asking you, what ethnicity is Paul?
Paul was Jewish.
There you go.
No, we're not talking about the
Christ
same
follower, right?
We will not go because we're not talking about the same.
We're not
Paul.
go.
We're not, because the Paul of the Bible is not the Paul of the disciple. It's not the same.
How do you know that?
MashaAllah.
Because I know, because I read the Bible. The Bible shows you, if you go to I don't know the verse exactly, but it will show you that Paul was not a disciple of the Christ.
Yeah, but where in Paul's writings?
If you want,
can you give me an example to verify your statement over there?
Yeah, but before you continue this, let's take a quick commercial break. We have a super chat from Ain.
Go for it.
Sahih al-Bukhari 6063, book 78, hadith 93 says, if the man is hallucinating about having sex with his wives, who on earth would trust him with divine message? That's a good question. I don't think that I could if he's bewitched.
Sounds like an ancient Near Eastern law code. You should see some crazy stuff in Mesopotamian Omen texts. It sounds exactly like that.
Just real quick, Moko. Guys, we're streaming. This is a good conversation. We have almost 300 people in here, and we don't even have 200 likes on the video yet. So, Chris, are you there? Chris Claus, you busy? Anyway, as Chris would say, if you guys have not liked the video by now, then you are probably
Hunter, you may need to mute.
You guys are probably secretly licking and kissing a black stone. That's what Chris would say. So hit that like button before we continue. Let's give you guys a second. It only takes a millisecond. Let's take a millisecond.
Maybe they're watching porn.
Let's get right. I agree with you, Moko. They probably some sickos, man. hit that like button. There should be no less than 250 likes on the stream right now. There's almost 300 of us. What y'all doing? Come on, man. So give it a second. I'm gonna see. I should be seeing it grow up. You know what I'm saying? It should be going up right now, man. So if y'all enjoying Rob with his, handling his barbecue right now, barbecuing Islam, leave a like. If you guys think that Moko is posing good arguments, if you think he's posing good arguments, don't leave a like. Okay.
Yeah.
Did I hear my name?
You did hear your name, man. They're not liking the video, man. Can you address the audience?
Hey, just want to say, hey, what's up to everyone out there on the YouTube live stream? All you viewers, I see that we have almost 300, if not a little bit more than 300 people in here. How do we not have over 200 likes, people? If you have not hit that like button, you secretly kiss that black stone.
The one thing I love about this community and the emoticons that they use in the chat is that they're not afraid to put kisses and hugs and flowers.
Yeah.
And it's really hilarious.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, where's Chloe at? Chloe needs to be on her job in the comment section. Get on it, Chloe. All right, guys, you guys can go ahead and continue. If we are not up there at about 250 likes in the next 2 seconds, I'm gonna have to stop the stream again for another commercial break. All right.
I got no problem jumping right back in there as well. And y'all show my man Robert Rose some respect in that room. He is one of the best apologists you guys will ever see. Now, he is one of the top apologists out here.
Agreed.
So instead of saying, where's Chris when we need him, just say, Rob, you're doing a wonderful job because I'm not stepping in. This man has definitely taught me a lot that I know in apologetics, and I could not hold a candle to the knowledge that this man knows when it comes to the Middle Near Eastern philosophy, language, or anything else that comes into the Old Testament. Continue the conversation, gentlemen.
I appreciate it, brother. Thank you.
Yeah, I have one question to Rob, if you don't mind.
Yeah, go for it.
Can you explain? I want to know. God is all-knowing, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know everything all the time.
Sure.
So how come he didn't know the hours?
He didn't know the hour. You're talking about when Jesus says the Son of Man doesn't know the hour.
Only the Father in heaven knows.
Avery, how many times are we going to answer this question a day? Like, I've answered this 3 times today.
Look, you're going to have to, as long as you have breath in your body, Hunter, you're going to have to continue to answer this probably a good 2 to 3 times every day. I'm telling you this right now. And so what we're going to do, what we're going to do right here, Rob, you're about to answer this, right? Rob, and then Hunter might even jump in and get in the conversation. I'm going to clip this. I'm going to clip this. And I'm going to, every time we get this on the stream, because this literally happens almost every
you share
stream,
this answer.
I'm going to play this, and that'll be it. Okay. Goodness, go ahead, y'all.
How do you want me to approach this? Do you want me to share my Logos software, or do you want me to just say it off the top of my head?
No. Let me refresh the question, please. Excuse me. When you say Jesus is God, okay, and Father, the Holy Ghost, and the Son, yeah, 3 in one head, in 3 persons in one head. Is it exact?
Basically, there's 3 in 1. 3 persons in one being. Yeah.
So my question is, how come he doesn't know the hours, and how come he refer to the only one who knows the hour is the true God, the Father?
Sure.
Here's my question.
Sure. All right. I'm gonna share my screen, and here we go.
Hi, everyone.
up, Rory?
I'm good.
All right. I'm going to show I'm going to give me 5 minutes just to run down through how I approach this issue and how I make sense of it, and then I'm happy to hear your response back.
5 minutes.
So where this verse occurs, so I'm using Mark because Mark is the earliest gospel, the earliest biography of Jesus. So might as well go there, right? And it ends up in the last segment of Mark 13, specifically verse 32. No one knows when that day or hour will come, not the angels in heaven, not the Son, but only the Father. All right? Now, the first thing we need to look at is the context of the entire chapter, and that's in regards to the destruction of the temple. So it's very interesting that Jesus actually explains and actually prophesizes about the 70 AD destruction of the temple. And so then he goes, because don't forget, he's saying this in 33 AD. He gets crucified on the 3rd of April in 33 AD. He will predict what will take place in the next 37 years. And sure enough, the Jewish revolts that arise, all of this does take place, future persecutions and so on. What he then does, he does something quite curious. He's like, after the suffering of those days, the sun will be darkened, the moon will not give its light. Like, these are all apocalyptic imagery he's quoting from the Old Testament. And he throws this line in verse 26. People will see the Son of Man coming in clouds with great power and glory, and he will send out his angels and gather his elect from the four winds, from the ends of the earth. So by the time you reach Mark 13, Mark is trying to develop an apologetic that this human that you perceive as the Messiah, Mark's intention in his gospel is to show that Jesus is the divine Son of Man of Daniel chapter 7, that he's the second person of the Trinity. He's incarnate second Yahweh, the second power. So by the time you reach, because notice, he's the Son of Man that's coming on the clouds. So by the time you reach verse 32, he gives this very interesting lesson of the fig tree. And the fig tree here is respect to Israel, its leadership, and specifically this generation. And just before you read verse 32, read verse 31. So verse 31 says, "Heaven and earth will disappear, but my words will never disappear." Now, heaven and earth is not it has nothing to do with, the universe. Heaven and earth was a Jewish idiom to mean the microcosmic, so basically the temple that he's talking about that will crumble, that will not one stone will be left on top of another. Heaven and earth was a merism for us to mean that temple represents the cosmos, right? So he's basically saying the temple will disappear, but my words will never disappear. So now with respect to the temple's destruction, no one knows when that day or hour will come. And now, but at the same time, notice the progression of where he puts himself in this progression. So he goes, no one knows when that day or hour will come. So that's no human being. Who are above the human beings? Well, obviously angels are above human beings. So from human beings, he then transfers to angels. Well, who's above the angels? Himself. Well, I thought only God was above the angels. So now Jesus is basically placing himself chronologically above the angels, and then clarifies and says, but only the Father knows that particular day and hour. Now, does this mean that Jesus is lacking omniscient knowledge? And the answer is no, because the fact that he puts himself up here above the angels and next to the Father, he then clarifies in Acts 1 that this is the economy of the Trinity. This is how the Trinity works. So like in Acts 1 where he goes, don't leave Jerusalem. Don't forget, this is just before he ascends. This is, just before Pentecost. Don't leave Jerusalem. Instead, wait for what the Father has promised, about which you heard me speak, right? And what is that about? That's basically that you'll be baptized with the Holy Spirit. So now notice you have three members of the Trinity already mentioned. You have the Father, you have Jesus, and then you have the Holy Spirit, right? And then notice that they ask him this key question in light of Mark 13, verse 32, about the destruction of the temple. So they're like, and those who had gathered together began to ask Jesus, Lord, is this... Notice they call him Lord, Kurios. Lord is already, this is a designation of you know, you don't just call a mere human Lord like this. So Lord, is this the time when you will restore the kingdom to Israel in light of the prophecies he's just said about Israel? And he answered, it is not for you to know what times or periods the Father has fixed by his own authority. So that this then clarifies that the members of the Trinity work in unity, but at the same time there's a distinction. So the Father has his prerogative of what he accomplishes, the Son has his prerogative with what he accomplishes, and the Holy Spirit has his prerogative with what he accomplishes, and that's exactly what verse 8 says. You will receive power when the Holy Spirit comes on you, and you'll be my witnesses in Jerusalem, in Judea, and to the ends of the earth. So Mark 13 has nothing to do that Jesus is lacking omniscient knowledge, when the context is that he's talking about the temple's destruction, and then there's a like a layering of from the least important to the most important person that knows about this. So no one knows as a human being, then it's the angels, and then he puts himself as the Son above the angels, and then obviously if obviously in the theological context of the Trinity, that means the Father has his prerogative to bring about the destruction of the temple with respect to the hour that he chooses. So that's my answer on that.
Wow.
I can actually compliment on that.
Go for it.
Sorry, I don't know, Marco. Was that him saying or talking? But anyway, well, no, it's okay. But yeah, to go along with what you're saying, Rob, it actually goes along with my answer. What I normally say actually goes along with what you're saying as well, because it talks about the authority of the Father to declare the time in which nobody knows the day or the hour. It's the day that the Father actually knows. He's the one that has the authority to it. So it's not cognitive intelligence. It's more of the authority that the Father has in regards to that. Just like how we talk about with and I mention this to Muslims all the time, the usage of causatives. So where it talks about in the book of Genesis, Adam knew his wife, but it didn't mean like Adam had a cognitive knowledge about Eve and bore their son. No, to know his wife in this context, it referred to where there was intimacy and they bore a child. We have in the book of Amos, God knew Israel. In that context, it's not referring to cognitive, but it's referring to, in context, the love that God has for Israel. You have the same concept in 1 Corinthians with Paul as well, where he talks about how I only knew Christ crucified. But at the same time, we know that Paul isn't ignorant of the things that the Corinthians were doing, because he talks about all those things. He was just declaring in the fact that he knows Christ crucified. He knew Jesus crucified. That's what he declares of Jesus crucified. So go right along with what Rob is saying. The Father has the authority on that day and the hour in which it is known. It's not necessarily intellectual, cognitive knowledge, but the authority in which the Father is the only one that has it. Does that sound about right, Rob? Along with what you're saying?
No, but that's basically it. And you know, we try and compartmentalize. Oh, maybe in his humanity he didn't know, and so on. No, that's now you're trying to wrestle with the verse in isolation. Don't isolate the verse. Let the verse be in the larger discussion of the whole chapter, talking about the destruction of the temple. And then it's like, whoa. Yeah, basically it's like, whoa, like he's already laid out his credentials as the Son of Man who comes on the clouds. That in itself gives it away who he is, because he brings it up with with the high priest in the next chapter. That, you know, when he
Excuse
tears
me.
his robes.
Excuse me,
So
Bob,
yeah.
doesn't help you because even if it's even let's say for sake of argument, he's talking about the temple, and actually he's not talking about the temple. He doesn't know the hour of the destruction
Wow.
of.
Moko, did you listen to anything that Rob or
Yes,
Hunter
yes,
just said?
I did. It was boring. That's why Christianity is declining and Islam is growing.
It's boring. We're not talking about 72 houris with big breasts, I guess.
Listen very quietly. Can you? So,
despite whether you think it's boring or not,
it is.
The point of the matter is that
stick with the data points. Don't worry about my monotone voice.
I'm sticking to the points because it doesn't explain why the Son, because Jesus is the Son.
Can you strawman my argument? What did I lay out? Because I want to hear your understanding of what I explained.
Yeah, can you steel man his argument for him?
Sorry, steelman, not strawman. Yeah, steelman.
Yeah, I was about to
say.
Like, I thought it was straw man in you.
Are you talking to me?
Yeah. So what was the point that Rob expressed to you, and in the answer that he gave in a concise way? Can you steel man his position?
But he doesn't explain. He doesn't explain. It doesn't explain what you have said. It doesn't explain how come.
What did he say?
Christ.
I just shared my screen though. I shared, and I was reading with what I was reading.
Yeah, Rob, how does it feel? How does it feel after you go for about 5 to 6 minutes?
You see the problem.
You share your screen. You share the lines. How does it feel when someone says you didn't say anything?
Like literally.
Well, I feel like I feel like. Man, I'm getting back in the saddle. This is giving me Pal Talk vibes, like really Pal Talk vibes. Like nothing's really changed. Like I've made, it's like I've advanced. It's like I've that Planet of the Apes where he comes back and he sees the Statue of Liberty in the ocean. Yeah. It's like I'm having that moment of we've just gone backwards. Like what's happened in the last 10 years? It's
Welcome back, Rob. Yeah, welcome back.
Exactly what happened, because you can't be laughing.
Ready to tag me in, Rob?
At your faith.
Yes, I'll tag all of you in that. Yeah, it's not just me. Yeah.
Listen.
Well, wait. Do you say is it Muku? Is that how you say it?
Moko.
Like what me and Rob are actually, what we both actually just demonstrated, is that it's not about cognitive knowledge, but instead it has to do with the authority that only the Father has. It's not about knowledge, it's about authority. That's what Rob and me are getting at. And you said that doesn't explain anything, when in fact, when we utilize other scriptures that are both used in the New Testament, Old Testament, throughout the rest of the chapter, it's not referring to cognitive knowledge, but instead of the authoritativeness that the Father has, in declarative knowledge.
Mm. And also Moko, for the sake of charity, right? Remember you said to Avery, you said, you don't understand Islam, you don't read the Islam, you don't read the Quran, blah, blah, blah. Now, for the sake of charity, let's go along with that. So, obviously now, this is definitely, because you asked me, right? This is definitely most of my area of specialty and research as a Christian. So, I'm in good company, both in early Christian tradition as well as in the scholarship that exegete that particular verse that you brought up. And I took the time to lay out in the briefest way possible how to approach that verse. But your response is it's very boring.
And that's not a refutation.
And I'd hate to say it, guys, but you may have to define what cognitive is for him, Hunter. I'm not sure that you may have lost him with that word.
Yeah, it's just pretty much, it's referring to intellectual knowledge. It's not about intellectual knowledge, but instead of the authoritative declaration that only the Father has.
Which is what Acts 1 was getting at. Yeah.
Yes. So give him an example explicitly, like give him the Paul example, so that maybe if he sees a verse in action, maybe he can wrap his mind around it.
Rob, can you pull up 1 Corinthians 2:2?
Sure. I'll just bring up.
Because I'm on my phone. So.
Avery, didn't you explain this in other chats?
Yes, of course.
I think you mean to say that it means the Son has no authority, has not to reveal the hour.
That's what they're saying, Rory.
Exactly.
Yeah, Hunter and Rob have both said that it is the authority of the Father to declare this. It is not knowledge per se, but it is the authority of declaration.
Yeah.
You could literally you could literally paraphrase the Greek as reveal. It's not up to me to reveal, the hour.
Actually,
and
so
and obviously, so for humans they can't do it, and obviously so for angels because they are also creatures. Notice the progression. Creaturely knowledge.
Yeah.
In and of themselves, they can't reveal, because at the end of the day, who's the one dictating the times and the seasons and the years? It's God the Father all along, right?
Yep, through the Son.
So now the economy of the Trinity then works in that logical process. The fact that he then puts himself above the angels in the text gives it away, right?
Yeah.
And you already have the Trinity working in Acts 1, like the Holy Spirit will do his thing, the Son will do his thing, the Father, So how does that doesn't contradict the Trinity? The text is defining this is the Trinity, this is how the Trinity functions, and then you respect the text based on what the text is declaring within its own theological framework.
So the Father is above the Son, so is above the Christ. So it's superior of the Christ.
Okay, go for it, Hunter. But I was just gonna
Yeah, well, because I was going to say, not in essence, but in subservient. Like, for example, just to answer that real quick, I can go work somewhere and have somebody who is authoritative over me, but we're still the same as in essence because we're still both human beings, right? But the only difference is that I'm subservient to the one who has authority over me. The one that I'm subservient to. So it's not different in essence. It's the only thing that's different there is subservient to the Son is subservient to the Father.
Mm-hmm. Now the difference is when it comes to the angels and the human beings, is Jesus is of a different essence than them because he shares the same divine essence as the Father. So he's in a completely different category than angels and human beings. He's in the same category as the Father when it comes to essence. However, he takes the servant role.
What about the
Father?
What about the Holy Ghost? The Holy Ghost.
Again, it has to do with subservience. So when it comes to the Father and Jesus, it's subservient in role, but that doesn't equate subservience in essence. So that's what I was referring to as well. And also the Holy Spirit, you can say, when it comes to the Trinity perspective, who was the one that sends the Holy Spirit? It's Jesus, the one that sends it. So you have it within question that the Holy Spirit is also subservient to the Father as well in this case. But nonetheless, it doesn't mean that they are subservient differently in essence. It just refers to their roles and what they play.
So they are not equal.
Wow.
They can look, like, for example, to put it back in my example, consider like an employee with an employer, right? And their relationship. The employer has the right to make demands of the employee, and the employee has the obligation to serve the employer, right? Just to put it in a simple perspective. But when it comes to this, the roles, they're clearly defined, as subservient relationships, right? The employee is subservient to the employer. But both people are still human beings and share in the same human nature. So there's no difference between the two as to their essence. And yet they still stand as equals because they're both human beings. Just one serves the other. The Father and the Son are same in essence. Just one serves the other.
Can I
so they are equal
share
in essence.
my...
They're both God in nature.
I'll just share my commentary on Mark that I wrote, and I'll just briefly read this. So, this is in regards to the verse 32. And actually, let me go there since I'm sharing it.
Is this what I think it is, Rob?
Yeah, it's my Mark commentary. So I'll just quickly read what I wrote here, because I put together all the scholars that I put together what's probably the best amalgamation of everything on this verse. So Jesus now shifts from the certainty of Jerusalem's destruction within a generation to the unknown time of his second coming. No one knows when that day or hour will come. Thus, although his statements are absolutely certain and trustworthy, the timing of his second coming has not been revealed, which means that we should not provoke undue speculation. The theme of this passage is about watchfulness in light of the uncertainty of his return, and the phrase, that day or hour, has eschatological significance, referring to the eschatological day of the Lord. So notice you have just that just how the verse starts, right? That day or hour. It's like, you could literally paraphrase that as saying, the day of Yahweh. That day of Yahweh, basically. And that has all the Old Testament connotations. So then Jesus says that neither the angels in heaven nor the Son knows when that day of the Lord, right, the day of the hour, will occur, but only the Father. So here we go. Since I hold to Markan priority, I think this is a powerful argument for the Trinity, and here's why. So curiously, this is the only use of the absolute the Son by Jesus in Mark. So the very verse that you think, says that Jesus is not omniscient or he's not the second person of the Trinity, how ironic. The whole gospel starts with God saying, "This is my Son," at his baptism, right? Early in Mark's gospel in chapter 1. Then on Jesus' own lips, he declares himself to be the Son of God. Basically, that, in the Greek, the Son, the absolute the Son. So, when he says that, though common in John's Gospel, this kind of language expresses a relationship of unique intimacy that Jesus has with the Father. Notice that Jesus implies the same thing in Acts, which is the very verse that I just quoted a moment ago, isn't it? It isn't for you to know what times or periods the Father has fixed by his own authority. And thus the Father, not the Son, has set the timetable for the future. Furthermore, notice that Jesus is implicitly pointing out his own high Christology. The threefold reference to the Father, Son, and angels indicates a heavenly hierarchy and pre-existence in which the Son is higher than the angels. And then, I go into, for example, Hilary, 4th century bishop, who, he's one of many church fathers that get into the philosophical reasonings as to how to approach this and so on. So that's all it is to it. It's not a complicated verse. The verse itself, ironically, shows that if this is on the lips of Jesus, Jesus is saying he's the Son. There you go. Now you've sort of trapped yourself into declaring, if you take the verse literally, that Jesus is the Son of the Father. And don't forget, he claims verses prior that he's the Son of Man, riding on the clouds. And he's speaking about the eschatological day of the Lord. And it's about the temple's destruction. But at the same time, there's this already but not yet eschatology. It's like the temple destruction will happen, but at the same time, when is the second coming really come? And in this case, only the Father makes that prerogative. You see confirmation of that in Acts 1. This doesn't contradict the Trinity. This is how the members of the Trinity work in unison to bring about, because they each have their own unique function, but it's in unity, hence a tri-unity.
Watch this, guys. Moko, what do you have to say to everything that you've just heard?
Yeah, but it is not affected because everybody in all religion we call a Son of God. This is not a title specific to Jesus Christ. We all Son of God. Can
you show me?
But wait. I have a key observation to make. That's true. Now, why then does the New Testament have to go out of its way, acknowledging that there are many sons of God, right? Because that's all over the Old Testament. Why then is Jesus called the mogenes theos, or the unique, the one of a kind, the only begotten God, or in John 3:16, the only begotten Son, or the unique Son?
Oh crap!
You see, that's what differentiates the sons of God with the Son of God.
When you say begotten, what did that exactly mean? When you say begotten,
Well, before you do, Mako, just a second. We will not define the English word. What we're going to do is we're going to understand the Greek word and define what the Greek word means. Go ahead, Mr. Robert.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have brought that up with the whole King James rendering of it, but because that's a red herring. But basically, the Greek word monogenes, like, why then go out of the way to then differentiate, and especially at his baptism, you are my son, you are my beloved son. And beloved there is a very interesting connection to David because of the Davidic genealogical line that the Messiah comes through. So Jesus is not only, like, is there a hint of a Davidic messianic connection, but he's also the divine Messiah because he's the second person of the Trinity incarnate as a man. And Hebrews 1 is all about this. Like, to which of the angels or which of the sons of God did God say, you are my son? So there's an acknowledgement that there are sons of God, but they're creatures. They're created beings. The Son that Jesus speaks about in Mark 13 is the one who is part of the Blessed Trinity. Because he's monogenes, he's unique.
But the Christ is also human being, no?
No, yeah, Christ as a title is to do with a human Messiah-like figure, an anointed one. There are many types of anointed figures.
I know, but Christ has shows himself as a human being, flesh and bones.
Yes, that's the argument Mark is making. That here's a human being that also claims to be the cloud rider. He claims to be the second person of the Trinity. That is a remarkable claim.
Can he cannot be just a Mashiach? Send this the waiting one, the one who was waiting.
Well, for him to accomplish what he accomplishes on the cross, no mere human being could accomplish it. That's why you need to have both. That he's both 100% man, 100% God. He's the God-man. For him to accomplish eternal salvation and the forgiveness of sins, and ultimately to cause resurrection. Because you can't have a mere human being dying and then out of his own finite power reverse thermodynamics and.
Yeah,
Rob,
but the thing is,
sure.
The thing is, how can he be 100%?
Do you have Alan Siegel's work on, not Michael Siegel, Alan Siegel's work on Daniel 7 and referencing how the Cloud Rider, the Son of Man, Cloud Rider, was referencing to Yahweh himself?
I have Alan Siegel's too.
But I can actually point that in the Quran.
I'm sorry, you're Michael Siegel.
You see that sort of thing in the Quran itself.
That's where I wanted y'all to go with this. Because we're talking to a Muslim here. Show him the significance of the cloud writing and show how it's relatable to him, how he has to acknowledge that that's a divine attribute. Show him that.
Yeah. Rob, pull up Michael, not Alan Siegel. I'm sorry. I meant to say Michael Siegel. Pull up Michael Siegel's work on Daniel 7 because he talks about the dreams or riddles and things like that, and actually talks about the reference of the Son of Man being the cloud rider is referencing to being Yahweh himself.
Okay.
I do, but I'm on my phone. You should have his work because it's in the drive.
And I got the
So Michael Siegel is
right here.
Dreams, Riddles of Daniel.
Yep. The 2016 one? Yep.
Yep, that's the one. Now look up where it talks about
what page?
Hang on, I'm gonna have to look it up myself. Hang on a second. I can get it for you real quick. Let me just...
Moko, do you understand the significance of the cloud rider, the one who comes on the clouds or comes in the clouds?
Yeah.
That's something that only Allah does, right?
No.
Let's see here.
So who
does it?
Can you show me where the Quran mentions angels coming in the clouds?
yeah. When Gabriel has come to reveal the message of the Quran to Prophet Muhammad. He has come from out behind the cloud, and he has shown himself
He
to
come
the
from behind.
horizon.
He come from
I
behind the
think,
clouds. He
guys,
didn't ride the clouds.
but to go with what Avery is trying to get at, if we want to bridge this to a Muslim guest, yeah, we need to use the Quran or some sort of Islamic bridge. So, like, I have here a dissertation by a guy named Wesley Williams, and I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with it. I'm sharing my screen.
I definitely know
You
Wesley
gotta zoom
Williams.
in. You gotta zoom in a lot.
Yeah, I'll zoom in. I'll just scroll up. So this is the title of his dissertation in Near Eastern Studies, 2008. Now, he speaks about the anthropomorphic theophany and visio Dei in not just the Hebrew Bible, but also the Quran in early Sunni Islam. Okay? And if I go now to page 79, what he does is in the first 78 pages, he builds up an argument about how the Old Testament and the Bible, so in other words, the Trinity is completely logical, because you have the Father as an invisible deity, and then you have the second entity that has to be in hypostasis with the first entity, but is visible. So the Word of God, right? He becomes visible. We call him the pre-incarnate Christ. So now, what he does is he's fascinated to see that this sort of thing happens also in Islam. So, for example, in Surah 42, you have this ayah saying, "It is not for man that God speaks to him except by revelation, or from behind a veil, or by sending a messenger and revealing by his permission what he pleases. Surely he is high, wise." So my question to you is, well, sort of like an observation then a question. As a Christian, I can say that the veil that's mentioned here, like if I was to transfer this to a New Testament form of theology, I would say that, yeah, for God to speak to a man, for Allah to speak to a man, the only way that can happen is if he speaks through a revelation, right? But the revelation has to come through a mediator, and the mediator happens to be this veil, whatever this means. Now, the Christian will say the veil is Jesus. Jesus is the means by which God, this infinite being, he's able to empty himself, kenosis, he's able to come down and speak to us mortal human beings. Now, yeah, you have a glimpse of that you have a veil, a hijab, between Allah and humans. So my question to you is this veil a finite object that's able to have the attributes of Allah? Because if you keep reading through this dissertation, he'll say that the veil cannot, if the veil was just a creature, it would not be able to sustain Allah's glory. So somehow the veil has to not only sustain Allah's glory, in order to veil Allah, right? Otherwise Allah's glory would destroy everything. So he has to veil Allah, but at the same time the veil is the filter by which Allah speaks.
To answer your question is the same as what happened to Moses. Moses speak from a veil, from the tree, because he cannot. When he asked him, "Can I show you? Can you show myself to me?" He said no, because you cannot stand.
Right, so, and then this author will say that when the angel of the Lord comes down to speak to Moses, there's your veil in Old Testament lingo. Like the angel of the Lord functions like a veil on behalf of the first person of the Trinity. So you, like, just very quickly, I'll reshare my screen again just to show you what I'm saying. In John 1:18, it says here, oh, Avery, I'm sharing my Logos software. Sorry about that, brother.
Oh, sorry. I thought it was up. My bad.
Yeah. So in John 1:18 it says here, no one has ever seen God. Okay. Then what about all those times where Moses has seen God, and Adam and Eve saw God, and Jacob wrestled with God? And well, John clarifies that and says, well, there's the unique God who is close to the Father's side that has revealed him. So that's the veil, that's the hijab in Islamic terms. Like, so Islamic, Christians will say this is Jesus, but who is the veil in your context?
No, because the veil it can signify a lot of things. Like I say, it can signify a tree, can signify anything, and no one in earth can see God. When you talk about Adam, he was not in earth. When he saw him in heaven.
Moko.
So there you can see him, but here in earth nobody can see him.
Moko.
In fact, wait, let me finish. Let me finish, please.
All right, but I'm gonna have to refute you right after you're done from your own sources. Go ahead.
Yeah, no problem. Like I said, from the time of from the beginning of time, all the prophets sent by God, they never saw God. I'm talking about Earth, when they were in planet Earth.
All right, so in Moko's Quran, it actually describes Allah speaking with Moses, and I'm not talking about at the burning bush. Moses is asking to see Allah, and Allah says, "You cannot see me, but I will show myself to the mountains. If the mountains crumble, you won't be able to see me. If the mountains stand, then I'll show you too. I'll show myself to you." You know this so far, right, Moko?
Yeah.
And then Allah showed himself to the mountains, and what happened to the mountains?
It explodes.
So the mountains crumbled, of course, right? And what happened to Moses? He fell unconscious, correct?
He fell unconscious, yeah.
So are you trying to tell me that Allah entered his own creation and showed himself to the mountain without being veiled?
He proved that what I'm telling you, that no one can see God in earth, because you cannot imagine God. Is too powerful.
Can you read this verse for me? I've highlighted it, verses 9 and 10. What does it say? This is Exodus 24.
My screen is very small. Can you read it, please?
Okay, I'll zoom in. I'll zoom in.
Yeah.
Very okay. Now read it. These two verses I've highlighted.
Then Moses and Aaron, Nadab, and can you zoom it, please?
Abihu.
This is too small. From my screen is small. I'm talking from my phone.
Okay, then I'll okay.
Just read it. Just read it. I trust you.
Well, it says Moses, Aaron, Nadab, Abihu, and 70 of the elders of Israel went up and saw the God of Israel.
From where? From what? Which book is that?
Exodus 24, verse 10, 9 and 10.
It's in the Torah.
Yeah.
So when you have John saying that no one has seen God, John clarifies in the same verse that it's the second person of the Trinity that they saw. So therefore, in Surah 42, when it says that Allah speaks through a hijab, the hijab is that second person of the Trinity.
This is
to bridge.
No. This is your interpretation. But when God say like when Christ say, I don't know who asked him, can you show me God? And he say, you didn't see me. That from that time I'm with you.
Yeah, that's John 14.
Yeah, that doesn't mean that I am God. It's just telling him. Let me finish. He's just telling him that I'm doing the work of my Father, of my God. What I do.
What prophet can claim to be the visual representation of God Himself? What prophet can claim that in Islam?
All the prophets.
Can you show me where a prophet claimed that?
What?
Claim to when they asked to see God, that the prophet said, "Don't you see me? I've been with you all this time, and you don't know yet? You've seen me, you've seen God." What prophet says, "You've seen me, you've seen God"?
For the Muslim is Jesus Christ, who is a prophet for us, and he is the one who said that.
Where did Jesus say that?
In the Bible.
I love this. So you take the statement from Jesus as a true statement. Beautiful. So why is Jesus the only prophet that can claim this, that can claim that if you've seen me, you have seen God, and it not be shirk?
Yeah, but let me explain to you as the other guy explained on human level. It's like if I'm the president of, I don't know, whatever.
Oh, you don't want to get into the law of agency argument with me?
No. Let me finish, and then you will see if my argument is debunkable or no. I'm the president of a state, and I send my ambassador. Okay, is representing me. Is the one who represent what I want, what I said.
I called it.
You see him, you see my ambassador. It's like you see me, but it's not me. It's my ambassador.
Yeah. So is your ambassador a husband to your wife?
What?
It was a really easy question. The ambassador that you sent, is that ambassador a husband to your wife?
No, he's an ambassador.
Oh, okay. So this ambassador that you send, is he a father to your kids? No, right? So there are certain things, because you're speaking of the law of agency, there are certain things within the law of agency that do not transfer over within the law of agency. So those things that solely belong to God do not transfer over to the actual messenger that is being sent. So you using the law of agency here does not work. You want to try again, sir?
He work for you, but he don't work for me.
you missed it. You just missed the whole thing.
He said, I didn't miss, because he has.
Do you understand that do you understand that there are certain things, like for example, that belong to God, that the messenger cannot be attributed to, that God sends?
Yes, of course.
I mean, let's
wait. If God give him the power, the ability to do, to heal, to do things, he give him all his power. Of course, he can do whatever.
That's not what we're talking about. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about specific things that are attributed to God alone. Can the messenger claim to have those same attributes or titles or actions?
No, the attribute of God is if he doesn't give it. If he doesn't give it to you, you cannot have it. But if he give it to you,
alone. Okay, thank you. Do you want to take this somewhere, Rob?
Well, since we were in John 14, the verse, like, he brought it up, basically. He brought it up that in John 14, you have this declaration at the start of the verse, do not let your hearts be troubled, believe in God. Well, okay, if you're going to believe in God, Jesus at the same time puts himself ontologically at the same category as saying, hey, if you have belief in God, believe also in me. And then there's this declaration about how in his Father's house there's many rooms and, blah, 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 blah. He's going to prepare a place. So then you have this discussion about the way, then the famous Psalm, the way, the truth, and the life, which, by the way, these words, way, truth, life, are only designations for Allah. So Jesus is taking on prerogatives that is only attributed to Allah in Islam. And no one comes to the Father except through me. So Jesus is the filter by which we get to the Father. And if you know me, you'll know my Father. So then you have the declaration, Lord, show us the Father, and that will satisfy us. And that's why you have this declaration that because he's the second person of the Trinity, how then can there be a distinction between the Father and the Son, as if there's as if they're, it's speaking of two different gods or something? No, it's the one God. in two persons in this context. That's why there's this, the person who's seen me, seen the Father, and how can you say show us the Father? I'm in the Father, or the Father is in me. So later down in the same passage, Jesus then says that that the Helper, the Holy Spirit, whom the Father will send in my name, will teach you all things, the Paraclete, right? The Advocate, and remind you of everything that I've told you. So now to bridge it back to Islam, in Surah 61, ayah 6, you have supposedly Jesus saying, "Lo, I am the messenger of Allah unto you, confirming that which was revealed before me in the Torah, and bringing good tidings," so the gospel message, the Injil, right, "of a messenger who cometh after me, whose name is the praised one." So, as a Muslim, I'm sure you're thinking of this ayah as speaking about that supposedly Jesus was prophesying about Muhammad, right? The praised one who's to come. Now, Muslims will then find this all the way back here in John 14, where Jesus speaks about the Paraclete, which is the Holy Spirit. So, do you not see that this is a complete misuse of the original Johannine text? It has nothing to do with Muhammad here. Here again, the very passage that you brought up, we have the Father, you have the Holy Spirit, and you have Jesus. You have the Trinity again in this passage.
Yes, but listen. First of all, this concept of Trinity, it has showed up after Jesus. When Jesus' time, Jesus was not preaching; he was only preaching to the Israelites. I just only come for the lost sheep of Israel.
Yeah.
So this is clear. He has only come for the lost sheep of Israel. He didn't come for.
Yeah. Why does he say? Why does he say that the disciples will bear witness to the Gentiles? And why does he send them out to all nations after he resurrects from the dead?
No, he didn't.
Can we first notice that
is a total tangential?
Yeah, that's a complete red herring. That has nothing to do with what Rob just said.
No, he did not. He did not. He said, "Don't go to
Moko, I'm wrapping it up, man. But thanks for joining the stream for the discussion. We've gone up for 2 hours now, almost 3 hours.
Can I say something before I go? Just one thing. First of all, thank you for letting me talk to your platform. I wanted to tell you that we as a religious people, we should stand together instead of fighting each other, because what is happening right now, the end of time, we will need each other to fight that evil things that is coming for us. And you know what I'm talking about.
Does this have anything to do with what Rob said?
No, he's wrapping up.
It has nothing to do with Rob outside. I'm just something there. Can I?
He's wrapping up. Just one minute. Okay. 1 minute, please, Moko, because I got to close.
Yeah. So just to say that we should unite together the people of the faith of religions and stand up, because what is coming for us is a big beast. So that's what I wanted to say. Thank you for having me, and wish you a good life.
You too, man. You're always welcome. You're always welcome.
Thank you.
Okay.
Sorry, I came in late.
Yeah, you're super late. We closing.
Mm-hmm. You want me to say any final words, or?
Yes, I was gonna go around the table, and let's see what we got for some final words.
Yeah, I'll kick it off. So, I'm just gonna give like my reflections, right? Like Hunter and I,
welcome back. Welcome
Yeah,
back to this world.
I remember starting this with absolutely like zero knowledge in any of this stuff, and that was the Pal Talk days. And then I grew and I grew, and then I disappeared. Not really, but I kind of did disappear. Like Hunter and I were the ones, and also Chris Claus to a certain extent, but Hunter and I did our own thing. We started up Sentinel, and then we started just diving in the Word, growing as Christians. We also have personal lives. A lot of things have transpired. I took it upon myself to, as a hobby, write commentaries. So I've written all through Mark. I've written Revelation. Now I'm doing Daniel. I've done in a very personal way, I've done a very deep dive for my own personal growth and all that stuff. My realization is that now that I have like a much more bigger, more complete, fuller knowledge of the biblical narrative, seeing the big picture context of Genesis, the story of humanity leading to this thing known as Israel, and then Israel in all its historical context, and finally leading to Jesus, and so on. Like what I have now, I did not at all have when I first got involved. And it's just amazing that now 10 years of hindsight, like this big picture perspective that I have now, I kind of pity I pity these type of discussions, because notice, for example, when he brought up Mark 13:32, I now finally see it. I see how these discussions are all about where it's nothing but a horse blinder, and it's like that's all I know is just that verse. Whereas when I went and put aside all the so-called biases and sort of like gotcha verses, like memory, like how you try and memorize verses as like a slot machine. It's like, okay, he's brought up that question, I've got just a verse for that as an answer for that question. Like the Bible becomes like a slot machine, and the same thing with the Quran.
Yep.
That is not actually doing proper Bible study and Bible research. And
right.
I'm in other words, I'm so thankful that I put aside for a long while now, for many years, I put aside engaging in these type of debates, because this is not against you guys or when you do these interactions, but I do find it as, for me anyway, that I didn't really grow. So in other words, I went away, I definitely grew. Now when I come back, hence I keep making the same point. It's like nothing has changed. It's the same, because that's all they're doing is they're just in the same debate mode, repeating the same verses, avoiding the fuller context, realizing, when you actually see a certain verse and a certain word in its larger context, it's so liberating is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You actually feel liberated, finally going, wow, look at the beauty and the logic and the context that I did not see, because I didn't have the time to see it, because I was too busy focusing on trying to debate in a gotcha way, like trying to win arguments.
We literally talked about this, Avery. We literally talked about that last week.
Yes.
Yeah. Like, I just wish I could, with Moku, I just wish I could talk to him about the Deuteronomy 32 worldview, like the whole divine council thing, and the larger, bigger picture of why did Israel even come to be as a thing, like what's actually going on in the cosmic sense.
Yeah.
There's a whole bigger cosmic discussion going on. Then ultimately, in that grand cosmic scene, then this notion of the logos in hypostasis with the human, but then the human body is stardust, and so therefore, this resurrection power is infecting the cosmos. Like, there's just so much that you can talk about, but you can't, because of how woefully ignorant and uneducated a lot of these people actually are. And by the way, I'm not saying that to put them down, because guess what? When I interacted with them 10 years ago, I didn't see it this way, because I wasn't I didn't know any of this stuff that I'm sharing now. I didn't know any of it back then as well. So it was like two blind men, I suppose, one claiming Christian, one claiming Muslim, sort of like going, oh, but I've got this, and then this guy's going, oh, but I've got that, and it's sort of this tennis match. Now I've gone away, and it's like I've now played tennis with some of the elite tennis players, and I've come back, and it's like he's just like a little kid that just doesn't. He's only, hitting the ball down one side of the court, not realizing there's a whole there's a whole court context to work with.
You're right. They're all the same,
so,
and you know this.
Yeah.
They're literally all the same, Rob. It's no different. You'll come across that one rare one that is interested in what you like, what you were breaking down. That person's response would not have been, "Oh, that's boring," but would have been like, "Wow, I never seen it like that." You get that one rare one. But
that's what's blowing my mind is the fact that it's rare. It's not rare to come across people that'll say it's boring, because that's what breaks my heart, is that the majority will say it's boring. Whereas it's so unfortunate that it's 1 out of 100 that'll say, oh, let's actually have a intelligent, intellectual discussion on this. Yeah.
Welcome to the world, man. Again.
That's yeah.
But we're Rory, did you want to say something real quick before I shut it down? Because I'm about to shut it down.
Yeah, the noticing that he always changed the topics, and because he couldn't answer the questions that Chris and Rob and who's the other one? Hunter brought up, and he said it was boring, and that's not a refutation. And also, he said he also said that you can't see God in this earth. Well, how does he explain the hadith, which I just brought up right now? You can't share it now, can you?
No, because I'm about to close in a minute.
Yeah,
so
the hadith I brought up is about when the Muslims will see the Allah in the shape of Allah in the last day.
Yeah.
So how can you say that you can't see God when he's going to literally come down to earth in the last day?
Yeah, it's totally inconsistent.
And the reason why their God can't be a man is because their God is a physical, whereas our God is a spirit.
Yep. So they're totally inconsistent, Rory. They're totally inconsistent. Yeah, this is what we deal with every day. Chris, you still there?
Yeah, I'm your brother. You want me to go on along? No, I think we had a wonderful live stream. I want to thank Mr. Rob Rowe from Sentinel Apologetics. And for those who do remember from the Pal Talk era, his name was General Han Solo. So I do want to thank him for coming on.
Hokey religions and ancient weapons are no match for a good blaster.
Nerds. So I think that one of the problems that I see within Islam is they don't have the type of intellect in a lot of the discussions that they should be having in these type of discussions. And I think 100 said it the best. God logic, the next time a Muslim or you ask a Muslim a question on the Quran and he gives you some long-winded answer, all you have to do is say that was boring, so it's invalid. Because that was the most disgusting answer I've ever heard after Rob give a very detailed explanation of what was going on there. For him to simply say that was boring, so it basically makes it invalid. I probably would have slapped him if he was face to face with me after a remark like that. But yeah, other than that, everybody get some food, rest up. About 50 minutes from now, we're going to have another live stream. And we've got a big announcement at the start of the live stream.
And just quickly, that guy that may be joining a stream, hopefully, then a proper discussion can ensue. So
maybe
I pray he comes on. Yeah.
Thank you, Southside Sniper, for your last 2 super chats, man. God bless you. Thank you so much. He says another great one, guys. God bless. So I hope that you guys were poured into with the discussion. I hope that you guys weren't on the side that said that Rob's explanation was boring, but you actually received what he said and was like, wow, this is the full picture of this context. It was a beautiful picture painted. So thank you, Rob, for coming on and sharing that with us and taking the time to even lay that on even though the person you're talking to directly landed on deaf ears.
Anyway, man.
To the audience, it wasn't deaf.
I'm happy to share my testimony, and like if you want me to touch on specific topics, say Genesis creation, moving forward, I'm happy to talk about all.
Hey, listen, you said it. I'm gonna use you, man. Ask Chris. I'm gonna use you.
Do it.
Okay, for sure. Yeah. All right, guys, we're gonna close down. We'll be live, like what Chris said later on. So stay tuned. Look out for Chris Claus's channel. In the meantime, this was the God Logic Project. Be blessed and stay tuned for the rest of the content. All right, you guys, take care of yourself. Stay prayed up.